Table Talk Show with Nikki G the Voice.
Welcome back to part 2 of my conversation with incredible Darryl Gervais. In part 1, we dug deep into his personal story, marriage, divorce, and resilience. Now, in part 2, we'll explore his work ethics, what it truly takes to succeed in the music industry, and of course, his latest release, Drifting Away, a song that captures his journey in such a powerful way. Let's pick up right where we left off. Thank you for tuning in to Table Talk Show with Nikki G the Voice. I'm here with Darryl. I'll just say Darryl because I don't want to mess up your last name.
Okay.
I'm here with Darryl, producer, songwriter, manager, and he has so many different accolades. Like, he does so much in the industry. So he's dropping gems here. I hope you guys stay locked until the end because there's so much to learn about relationships, about entertainment industry, what goes on behind the scenes. Some people look at it,
Mm-hmm.
it's all so glamorous and flashy and all we do is party. But it's not that.
Yeah.
People living their lives in entertainment. You could be a songwriter, producer, voiceover artist, so many different
Yeah.
entertainers, So I hope this show could help you just dig deep into your story. Maybe this might help you in some form or fashion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Carol, could you give them your handles so they will know ahead of time if somebody needs to reach out to you?
Sure, definitely.
Mhm.
At Gervais Music. So it's at Gervais Music.
Right. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the questions.
That's all right.
What has balancing family life and a music career looked like for you over the years?
All right. So there was one point in time where I had it good and then I lost it. And I think what happened for me coming from a Christian background, I think there was a lot of shame that allowed me to that I allowed to penetrate and convince me that, maybe you'd be judged. So I kind of stopped taking my wife to certain events that I had to be at for work.
Yeah.
Just because of the setting and stuff like that, I felt judged.
Mm.
And maybe she wasn't judging me, but you have to know the individual to know, you know. But there's these little things that she would do and say that would make me feel like I'm being judged. And maybe she wasn't, but I mean that's gone now. But
Yeah.
balancing now, I think now as a divorced man, but a father nonetheless, I I try to make a lot of time for my kids. It's really just me and them now.
Mm.
And so like for instance, last week we were in Antigua, um, and my flight home was on Wednesday, the 30th.
Mm.
And my son's birthday was on the 30th, and I hadn't been around him for his birthday since 2020. The
Ooh.
last time I was around him for his birthday was in COVID.
Oh, wow.
Every year after that has been, because remember, we'd be touring, I'd be touring
Yeah.
with Ray.
Yeah.
So every year now, I'm up there in the summer, and it's just so costly to come home and that kind of thing. So I would just opt to stay up there, send home stuff for him for his birthday and whatnot. But now that you're divorced, now you kind of have to be very, intentional about being present.
Yeah.
Um, so in Antigua, I left Antigua about 2 o'clock, landed in Trinidad just after 6 because I had a connection.
Mm.
Um, and went straight from the airport straight to see him, hang out with him a little bit for his birthday, then back to the airport for 1:30 in the morning to head to Canada.
Wow.
And nothing in the world could have stopped me from making sure I saw my son on his birthday because I didn't for years. And now that we're divorced, I wasn't playing that.
Mm.
So balance looks completely different now. You have to be intentional with it because at the end of the day, I could give my kids the world, but if I'm not present, it's not making any sense.
Yeah.
I'm giving them everything, but if I'm not there, then I would have done it all in vain.
So going back to what happened, do you think sometimes it happens in the reverse, like how we were saying, things happen
Hmm.
to see what you need in your life, right? So
Yeah.
what you just said, where you would have to make it intentional and you have to do these things. Do you think if you did that prior, that things might be a little different?
Well, prior to everything happening, I felt like, remember, I'm coming from the perspective of I'm thinking I'm in a partnership,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, I'm in a partnership and my ride or die is rocking with me.
yeah,
I'm not thinking my ride or die is sitting there taking notes and writing down all my wrongs on a scorecard,
yeah,
And
yeah.
I learned that that's what it was. The
Hmm.
day I got my divorce papers, let me tell you something, this was the most hurtful thing that I've ever seen. And when I showed it to a lawyer who's been practicing law for over 30 something years said she's never seen anything like that in her life, right? When I got served my divorce papers, I was standing at the gate in Piaco, about to head to, where was I heading? To New York or New Jersey to
Hmm.
catch my flight to go to Puerto Rico for Uber Soca cruise, right? And I got served via email digitally while standing at the gate. And I didn't read it. I didn't read it at the time because I felt like I couldn't read it. I cried like a baby on the whole flight though.
Oh my
But
God.
but I know I'm going to work, so I had to stay in a certain mind frame. So I
Frame.
refused to read the documents until I came back off of the boat, off of Uber. And when I sat down in my Airbnb in Queens and I read those documents, there was one of the documents where basically she asked for an expedited divorce, right? And she lied and said it was because she was fearful for her life. Mind you, I've never hit this woman in my life. I never cussed she, never called she a name. You cannot say that you've ever been hit by me,
Yeah.
right? But she's a lawyer and a politician. So she kind of, there's
Uh,
little technicalities she kind of stretching to make it seem a certain way,
to make it.
right? Yeah. And and one of the documents, she listed out all the things that I've ever done that offended her.
Hmm.
I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life, Nikki. And it made me think for a moment, who the hell was I married to?
That's what I was just thinking. It's like, okay, so now that you saw what she listed, right? And you're thinking, okay,
Yeah.
who is
It
this
was
person?
every little thing, like every little thing. It was almost like two sheets of paper, like with almost 30 something points.
And she never told you that before. She never told you these things
L-
that she listed before.
Maybe some of them she did. I can't remember all of them things, but
Okay.
it's like normal things. I mean, we'd argue a lot, because we're both very strong-minded people.
Yeah, yeah.
But when I showed that to the lawyer, when I sat down with a lawyer, the lawyer was like, this woman, she never loved you. She hated you or something. Because I have never seen this in my life in practicing law.
Hmm.
She was like, and you know what it reminded me of? There's something in the Bible, is it Corinthians, right? Which speaks about love is patient, love is kind, love is this, right?
Hmm.
Um, and it says, love keeps no record of wrongs. And right there and then when I read that paper,
Hmm.
that scripture came back to mind because you kept every record of wrong,
Hmm.
right? And it was extremely petty to me, extremely childish. And I couldn't believe it. And it broke my heart. It I ain't gonna lie, like that broke me. That broke me. I was not okay. Probably I'm still not okay.
Yeah.
I'm just functioning, but
Whew.
yeah, but it was crazy. It was crazy.
Hmm.
Divorce, I understand why the Bible says God hates divorce. I understand that now.
But yeah.
It's nasty. It's the nastiest thing ever because it's like, how could two people who said who stood in front of all those witnesses, pledging their love and allegiance to each other.
Mm.
How could they get to this space now? Like but people change. Love fades,
Over time.
over time. And I'm still down for marriage. I'll never talk anybody out of it. I believe in it 1,000%.
But
Nothing's
what
wrong with marriage. Something's wrong with people.
That's what I was gonna say because it sounds like somebody who's really angry, somebody
Hmm.
who doesn't speak their mind, but they only speak it in paper. I don't know if,
She's very technical.
okay.
She's very technical and strategic.
Mm.
She'll sit down and talk with you now with a smile on her face, normal, normal, and surprise you with some kind of plot the next hour.
What?
Yeah, and I learned that now. I learned that
Yeah,
now. Yeah, I could sit here and give you stories, but she's somebody that I still love very much, and I still have a lot of respect for her, so I'm not gonna throw her under the bus
of course.
and
Yeah,
make it seem like she was the villain and I was the saint.
yeah.
There was a lot of hurt between us. I did some really insane things to her as well and broke her heart countless times. So it's not about a blame game, but this song is my story and how I felt,
Yeah, yeah.
so I have to share my story. But I mean, if she wants to sit and talk, she could do that too. Write a book if you want. You know, I ain't writing a book. I'm writing songs. So,
Dogs. Oh my God. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, it's one thing to hear your story, but
hmm,
when you listen to the other person's story, like how you say, you had some things that you did. So
yeah,
not to judge or blame or anything like that, but it's like they always say is like there's two sides to a story.
always, always,
And whatever made that person do what they did, I guess that's their way of getting your attention or something. But then to us, it would look like you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to
yeah,
go that far and be so dramatic with it when,
yeah.
we could have just, as you said, you were laying on the bed and talking and stuff like that. But I guess with the being that she's a lawyer, maybe that's what she
Nah,
does,
they could
you
plot, but
know?
I understand. I understand now. Like
Yeah.
I understand now more than ever why the world hates lawyers the way they do.
Mm,
Like I understand it, and politicians, and she's both of them.
mm,
But I would still say she's the best of the best, right? Like I I don't know how much she's changed now,
yeah.
but at that time she was the person I could have vouched for. That she went into this thing with the purest of intentions, thinking she could be a change agent. I I I respect her and I loved her that much to believe that. Now I can't say what is what, but because people change and now she's in different company and that kind of thing now, So
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like for her now, but I understand why people hate lawyers and politicians as much as they do. You know, it ain't easy because there's characteristics that's trending, amongst all of them.
That's what I was thinking. Because when you said, with the papers and how you got served and so forth,
Yeah,
what I was thinking is the characteristic that she has that is ingrained,
yeah,
that she just did what she knows.
yeah. They I think they're trained to take emotion out of things.
Mm.
Because remember, they're doing all kind of matters for different people. They could sit down and defend somebody in a rape case and
Yeah,
all them kind of things. So they have to dehumanize themselves to stand there and just argue points and facts, whether it gets the person off or not.
yeah,
And I'm not built like that. I'm not governed by those laws.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I deal in facts and feelings and emotions and you
Mm.
know, I deal in all those things, but a lot of facts too. So it was a very difficult season, and what was the main thing for me? Trying to be understood. I think that's always the thing with me.
Mm.
In almost any argument, I don't argue to win an argument. Like I don't care. Like I don't care
Yeah,
about that. If
Yeah.
I'm arguing with you, it's because I want you to understand a point and a perspective,
That's
right?
exactly what I was saying.
And
People
and
want
you
to,
don't have to agree with me. I
yeah.
just want to know that you understand me. You don't have to agree with me, but
Mm,
that you understand me. And
mm,
that's really what it is. And in my songs, I feel understood. You know, I could tell you very specific moments in my life where I felt understood. And my music is one.
mm.
I remember the first time I sat down in therapy, that was another moment I felt understood.
Yeah.
And, um, I remember one of the very few times I felt seen as a man, you know, like people doesn't understand now. Like men deal with a lot, like we deal with a lot and we don't always voice it.
They do.
We don't always say things. And I think one of the things with this song is it's created a space where people feel like they could talk about things.
Mm,
Because I played this song for colleagues of mine who are songwriters and producers and artists. And these big men and women shed tears when they listen to that song. Like I remember the first time I played it for a colleague of mine in New York,
yeah.
in a studio in New York, and they broke down and they were sitting behind me in the studio. And I was facing the screen and the monitors, and I played the song, and the
Yeah.
song was finished, but I didn't turn around on the chair yet. And I thought like they walk out the studio, and I turned around, and they were soaking in tears, like
Wow.
bawling, the same drifting away. And yeah, but that the song created a space for people to be real and to have those type of conversations,
Mm,
and everybody knows, or everybody would think they know, okay, when people get divorced or because we don't talk about them things, huh? We don't talk about the divorce. We don't talk about the hurt on both sides. We
don't
don't talk about that pain. We feel like, okay, the divorce, somebody might be on somebody and this and that. But we don't ever spend time to understand the both sides,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? And while I may have done my dirt, there's a story there as well too. You know, men I realize that men need certain things from their spouse, and the absence of those things creates a room. It creates room for things. So there was something. Um, I don't want to misrepresent what it is I'm trying to quote,
Okay.
but it's almost like you can't put fire in your lap and not expect to get burned with it.
Mm,
Um, but but I think couples need to make the extra effort to understand each other, and understand each other's needs and desires and mindsets and just to see eye to eye or try and see eye to eye. I'd advise almost every couple to do some kind of counseling, do therapy. It helps. I'm telling you, that was the first time I felt heard.
hmm. When you did the therapy together.
Yeah, first time I felt heard and understood in some
Mhm.
semblance. It was the first time.
Well, when you say you felt understood by her or by what the therapist was trying to explain.
The therapist, not by her. I still don't feel understood by her.
So
If
the
I felt
therapist was
understood by her,
clarifying what you're
yeah,
saying. Okay.
yeah, and in that moment, I didn't feel like a crazy person. And I'm like, I thank God, like I couldn't, like it couldn't just be me.
But did she get it though? Did she kind of get it when the therapist explained?
I don't know. She will say so,
Okay.
but I don't know. I think we get it in moments and we just get complacent as humans.
Mm,
It's habit,
yeah,
you know.
true.
But I give her the benefits of the doubt. She's probably trying just as hard as I am,
Yeah. Yeah.
and doing the best that she could do with what she has to work with. Um, but I've been struggling with forgiveness, learning to forgive and to not be bitter,
Mm-hmm.
and to be gracious. Yeah. It's easy, Nikki.
I know, because
It's easy.
when you said, right, because something happened to me not too long ago. And when you said, I think you had said something about men wants to be heard, or they want recognition or something like that.
Yeah.
And when I guess that's when it's in a relationship, right? But
Hmm.
my thing was I was sort of in a relationship, but I mean I don't even want to say it because it's like,
It's in a situationship. Well, you
well,
know.
there was something brewing. Let me just say that. There was
Right,
something
right. Okay,
brewing.
gotcha.
And
Hmm.
the thing is, sometimes when you're not in the mindset or the space of that individual, let's say that
Yeah.
you're not feeling the same way and you're trying to feel the same way, but
Right.
you just want space in
Hmm.
order, or time, I should say. You just want
Right.
time in order to understand what they're saying, and they just want you to be like, I want you to just love me. Just love
Right.
me. Just be free and just love me and don't think so much and stuff like that. And you're not in
Right.
that space yet because there's so many things going on. So you want to make sure
Right.
that things are the way that it is, you know?
Hmm.
That
Right.
when you said that, it made me smile. I didn't mean to smile because of hurt if you saw me smile, but it made me
Hmm.
smile because I know men need certain things in a relationship, you know?
Yeah, boy.
You
And
just
we're so easy to be blamed. We're like the usual suspects.
huh.
You know, it's so easy to blame us. It's
Uh,
so easy. It's so easy for everybody to see the woman as the victim and the man as the villain. Like that is the easiest thing on the planet.
because of
To,
because of how society is, because of
yeah,
how things
yeah.
has happened, they always look at the woman as the weaker person, and they always look as at the man as like, you're the one who's always going outside, you're the only one who always have her inside doing, you know how to say, barefoot and pregnant or whatever. But
Yeah.
not like that, women trying to rise and do their thing, but they always see
Yeah.
women a certain way. So that's why that happens. They always play the blame, the blame the man.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's
And
why.
I'll never say that I'm not to be blamed for a lot of things, you
Mhm.
know. But I think it's important to understand context. You know, I think context has a lot to do with a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like I'm not an excuses man, but I'm a reason man. There's
Mm.
a reason for things. You know, it's not an excuse.
Okay.
There, you get what I'm trying to say?
I
It's
get it, but it's a question that I have in my head because I'm like,
yeah,
okay, you're a reason and not an excuse, right? So
yeah.
if you do something wrong and this person says, let's say hypothetical, you went outside and you slept with somebody and
Mm.
you're like, listen, I just slept with this person because I felt like it, but I love you and I want you to understand that
I'll
that
tell you the reason. I'll tell you the reason it happened.
yeah, but
As
now
bad as it might sound, I'll tell you the reason.
right, but in that person's mind now is like, for women, is like,
Yeah,
you're sacred to me. You are my person. So when you
yeah.
go out and do whatever you do, it doesn't matter what your reason is. It's
Hmm.
basically
But then I'll say this, right? If I'm your person and I'm sacred to you, why why don't why don't you make me feel that? Like I don't feel that. I feel like I'm begging you. I feel like the minute I try to initiate intimacy or any type of sex,
mm,
um, the minute I try to initiate it, I see that look on your face that like I hate that. That look will turn me off. I'm good after that. I'm good. Like the minute I see an ounce of unwillingness on your face or in your tone, I'm
yeah.
good. I'm good. You turn me right all the way off.
But what about
All
if
the
he
way
was
off.
tired? If that person's tired, to turn it around then.
I'm
Turn
never
the
tired.
roles.
You can wake me up for it. I'm never tired.
But
But
okay, that's
we need to understand the genders some more.
The roles, yeah.
Yeah, we need to understand how we operate. For men, sex is almost like oxygen.
Mm.
I need that, and I'm not willing to live a life without it. I don't care about being celibate. Nah, go so with that. I don't need that. Give me my sex. Give me that. I want that. Um, and 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 I'm very understanding. So I know, okay, if you're not in the mood today or you're tired, I get that. That's cool. But the week pass, the next week pass, we not sex in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. What is that?
But
So
okay,
what do you think I'm doing?
so let's be real, right?
Yeah.
The person is doing that because not because you did something on the outside or you cheated or anything. They're just doing that because they just don't feel like it.
Yeah. That's just that was before anything went haywire in the marriage. You
Okay.
know, it was that. I'm big on willingness. I'm big on effort. You know, I am big on if you're doing something, do it properly.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, don't half step. You
Yeah.
know, I pay attention to effort because
Mm.
I'd look at it like, am I not worth the effort?
Yeah.
Am I not worth the effort? You know, like if I buy you or you buy, we take our time and we buy all this sexy lingerie and all them kind of things, right?
Yeah.
If you're wearing it, wear it. Like don't wear the top piece and then wear a bingo bag on the bottom. Like, what is that? Why you half
True.
stepping? You
True.
know, why you
True.
half stepping? If you're doing the thing, do the thing properly.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm that type of person. I'm like I pay attention to effort because
Mm.
I want to feel like the kind of effort I'm giving you, I expect you to, you know.
The
I'm
same.
not transactional like that, you know, but when it comes to effort, I'm a little funny with that. I don't give to get,
Yeah.
but I observe how you treat me. I observe where I am as a priority in your life,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Um, I remember this one time, I can't remember where I was. I wasn't in the country,
Mm-hmm.
and I got all these notifications on my phone. And you could tell me if I'm wrong, right? I got all these notifications on my phone, and it was from my ex-wife at the time, and they were test driving cars. And
The same
I
one
was,
that you
yeah,
you
the
okay.
same ex-wife, right?
Okay.
They were
Right.
test driving cars, and she was with the kids.
Yeah.
And I remember saying to her, "How come you didn't tell me about this from before?" And
Mm.
she was like, "What you mean?" She was like, "You're making me regret telling you anything." I was like, "No, I'm a man of principle, right? If I'm your husband, I expect things to be, even if it's, you're not asking me permission for anything, but it's casual conversation
Yeah. Yeah.
because we're communicating throughout the day, right? I made it my business. We talk every single day when
Mm.
I travel, right? If you go into a firm to test drive a vehicle, I would expect at some point in the day, you at least tell your husband, hey, babe, I make an appointment to go and test drive this, or I want to go and do this. I want to, you know,
Mm.
expect those simple little kind of things. Simple things. But instead, I feel like I am the last to know everything. Instead, I feel like I am the bottom of the totem pole.
Aye.
You know, like why am I the last person to know? Because you had to communicate with somebody. I'm sure
So,
somebody else in your life knows that you were going to the firm to test drive a vehicle. I'm sure you didn't just walk in the firm and test drive.
yeah. So you
You
got
know?
messages after to say that she's there.
Yeah,
Rather
yeah. And then when I brought it up, not in a argumentative, vex, tanto type of way. I asked the questions. I was like, "How come you didn't tell me about this?" I was like, "That makes me feel a type of way."
Yeah.
You know, and then of course she'd get defensive and you know, he make me feel like I shouldn't tell you nothing. I was like, no, but that's the opposite. I want you to do things differently, you know, like I want to feel involved.
Yeah.
You know, I want to feel like, you know, like we're friends and you're having a conversation. And it never used to be like that. But all those were signs of things that I was noticing, that those were my
That
observations
is
that we were drifting. You
yeah.
know, those were parts of my observations.
Yeah. I mean, that's your feeling. That it is nothing wrong
Yeah,
with that. People want to feel, left
yeah.
That the communication
Included.
is
Yeah.
included. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Um, there's something I was gonna ask you, and it just left my mind.
I'm
But
sorry.
no, that's okay. That's okay. But nothing wrong with that. Communication is key when it comes to a relationship.
Hmm.
Um, all right, so back to my
Yeah.
questions. Yeah, it's a major thing. Communication is definitely
Hmm.
the key in any relationship. But because of your experience, right? I'm sure I have it in my
Yeah.
questions here, but I wanted to ask you now, what advice you think from all your experiences? There's one that you said with your son, and you said there's nothing that's going to keep you from doing that because now you have to give the extra effort. So
Yeah.
after going through this and you're still going through this, what advice would you give to maybe a newly married couple or a couple that's probably going through it or somebody who's thinking of getting married? What advice would you give to anyone in reference to marriage?
Um, I don't know. I don't know if I could give the best marital advice
Hmm.
coming from a failed marriage, but
It's an
what I would
experience.
say, it's
It's
still
an-
an experience. Yeah, yeah. I still have a lot to share, you
yeah,
know. I would tell people, I mean, people will tell you on your wedding day the typical stuff, right?
yeah.
But I would say communicate with your spouse. Try to be as clear and communicate as clear as possible. Um, Make time for each other, prioritize each other, um, include each other, and try to work things out as best as you can. Because what comes after that isn't pretty. Like, I wouldn't wish a divorce on my enemy.
Hmm.
I wouldn't. And I realize like a lot of my friends and close colleagues are going through the same thing right now, and some of them going through it worse than me,
Hmm.
you know. Um, but yeah, but I I would I would advise you, if you're serious about the person, fight to work it out. You know, I think one of the hardest things I ever had to do was give up on the marriage, and this was years after attempts to separate and attempts to go through a divorce. You know what she initiated.
Hmm.
You know, I just felt like, oh gosh, you opt for this at least three times before. Like I'm good now. Like I don't have the fight in me anymore. Like I can't fight you to love me.
Yeah.
It's one thing to fight for to protect you and to fight for this, but I can't fight for you to love me and to want to make something work. So at that point, I had to accept it. But my advice would be, if you really believe that this is God ordained, then fight for it. Do whatever you have to do to work it out. You know, and I think that nothing is too far for God to deal with it. You know, I think we serve a miracle working God, and if he could do, if he could part the sea and rain fire down from the heavens, trust me, he could fix your marriage. He,
Yeah.
he he could fix your marriage,
Yeah.
but you have to be willing to put in the work too. You know, so
Hmm.
you have to try and meet your spouse on a level playing field. You can't fix a marriage from a superior position,
Hmm.
where you think you're always right. And I what's a main thing for me? Somebody who doesn't apologize.
Hmm.
Like I could tell you how many times I've heard I'm sorry from my ex-wife. And that would blow my mind. Like I very rarely ever heard I'm sorry, Darryl.
Oh. You're
Like
saying that you really heard it.
yeah, I rarely ever heard it, you know. And maybe she thinks she was always right, but I don't know. But that rips my skull every single day.
Somebody who doesn't, yeah, it's
Yeah, like
interesting when somebody doesn't say sorry at all, but the expectation is you're
yeah,
the one
yeah.
who has to say sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the expectation is always that the man would be the one that would put his tail between his leg, and then he has to calm down and humble himself. And even though you're dead wrong, it's like this saying, the 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 woman is always right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes there, yes there, yes there. And I think that is so toxic.
Yeah, it's not, I mean, somebody has to be, it's
It's
always like a give and
yeah,
yeah, yeah. It's not always
yeah.
just the man alone, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, people, we're gonna take a quick break.
Yeah.
We have so much more questions to ask Darryl
Yeah.
because
We are drifting away.
yeah, we have a lot of questions to ask. So we're gonna take a quick break, listen to some music, and we'll be right back.
Yeah, yeah. She said, don't leave. Now's not time for walking out. Maybe we can talk it out. This can't be the end. Lately, it feels like I can't take no more. What's the point in holding on for? And I know it's a lot. I know we got problems, yeah. But I can't help but think where we'd be without them. You see, I can't say that the love is gone, but lately we don't love no more. So we gotta do what we gotta, yeah. See, maybe we're just going through a phase, babe. Or maybe all we really need is space, yeah. It kinda feels like we're in different places. And I hate how I've been feeling. I can feel me drifting away from you. It don't feel the way it used to. We've been slipping away, trying to hold on to whatever's left of us. And why can't we be lost in love, the way we used to be? Our signals crossed, so crossed, and now you're losing me. I'm drifting away from you. And I know you feel it too. It's not easy.
Welcome back to Table Talk Show with Nikki G, the voice, and Darrow. We have just beautiful conversation about love,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, relationships, and so forth. How are you doing so far?
I'm doing great. I'm doing
Yeah.
great. I'm enjoying the convo. Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Wanted to ask you, anything that you speak about,
Mm-hmm.
the paperwork and stuff like that, is everything good? You could talk. There's no
Yeah. Yeah. I
runs
could
the
talk.
way you're not supposed to talk about certain people and
Nah, I could talk. I don't think it have
clause
any
or
yeah, I don't think
anything,
there's any
restriction.
clause or anything like that. Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
All right. So I was like, let me just make sure that everything is good. All right. So
Yeah.
back into our conversation. I hope you guys enjoyed his music. We're gonna get into that so you would know about him more personally, like, when he started music, what gave him that zeal to stay into music and why he loves music so much as a writer. All right.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
do you find that personal experience like fatherhood or relationships shape your sound or lyrics?
Yeah, definitely. I think life shapes you, right, as a creative.
Yeah.
Um, but something happened when I had my first child. I felt there was a shift in that I felt. In that moment, you felt, for me in particular, I felt like you're not doing this for yourself anymore now. Now you have this person,
Yeah.
or these people to take care of. That's how I felt with marriage. That's how I felt with my sons.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and there's a drive that is awakening you now, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So you want to be a little more intentional when you get in studio and you're actually creating. You want to make sure that you leave with something of substance, of value that could generate something for your people, for your the people that you have to take care of.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think having
Your legacy.
children, yeah, you start to think differently. You
Yeah.
start to make different moves because I don't see as far as my nose. I try to see way down the road, and I try to have a bird's eye view in every circumstance that I'm in, every situation that I'm in. And it's because I know I have people to take care of. I'm playing the long game. So
Mm.
yeah, it's definitely impacted my craft.
Oh, that's nice. What sacrifice have you had to make for your career, and how have those shaped your story?
Yeah, I mean, my life to date is a testament to the sacrifices that I've made. Even like I would say, even my marriage feeling, it was parts of the sacrifices that I made. Not willingly, but
Mm.
again, you made the sacrifices thinking you had on your side somebody who was there with you through sickness and in health, in rich or in poor, till that do your part. So I could see how you can miss some things and sometimes take people for granted because you think they'd always be there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But I think I sacrificed a lot of my family time for my career, you know, um, especially being on the road, traveling and touring as a manager. I think it's all affected my family life.
Hmm.
You know, um, there's a lot of things that I wasn't there for. Even as a songwriter, when I would go spend months abroad, on and do writing camps, that's time away from my family that I'm
Mhm.
missing. And I do it because I believe in what I'm doing, and in my mind and in my heart, I think that I'm doing it for the greater good, for the long run down the road where it will benefit my family. But um, I'm seeing it like that, but somebody else looking at it may not.
Yeah.
And in the case of my family, my kids looking at me as a superhero, they thinking daddy doing all these cool things and daddy is making sure we're good. My kids want for nothing, but in regards to my ex-wife, she probably had a whole different experience. And
Hmm.
you never know what someone's experience of you is.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm thinking I'm bending over backwards to make sure that they're straight and to work on something for them in the future. But she's probably seeing it a whole different way. She's probably seeing it like, I gallivanting all over the world and she's home
She
taking
never
care of
said
kids.
that to you? Has she said that out of her own mouth to say, I feel
Um,
lonely,
not not in
I
not
wish
in
you
those
were
words.
home? Okay. Okay. Not like
Not
that.
in those words. Not that I could recall, yeah. But I feel like it's come up. I just can't tell you word for word what it
When and
was, But I feel
if
like it's
it is.
yeah.
Hmm.
But I know I could say now that I know that she's probably felt left out or left behind in some things.
Hmm.
And if I could have changed that, I would change that. But I thought I was doing what was the best thing at the time. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I thought I was making a good decision, but you live and you learn. You
If-
win some and you lose some.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So I know the reason, but I'm just asking. I know the reason. I'm gonna ask you a question, right? But I know the reason. And
Sure.
our listeners who's been listening through the show, this is for newcomers who are now tuning in to the conversation, right? So let's talk
hmm
about drifting away. What inspired it and what did it take emotionally to release it?
Drifting Away was inspired by the the dark moments of my marriage and realizing that we were at the beginning of the end of us, that we weren't going to make it. Drifting Away was me writing from a place where I was feeling extremely lonely, even though I was living in a house with my wife and two kids. You know, um, Drifting Away was inspired by me feeling neglected as a man and not being prioritized as a man in the slightest. And it was me realizing that we are ultimately not who we were once to each other, not who we once were to each other. And drifting away is me accepting that this is how I'm feeling,
Hmm.
you know, and it's a whole lot of misunderstandings and perspectives, and we're just not trying to see it and just not trying to understand each other anymore. So
Yeah.
we keep missing it. And that's what drifting away is for me. But what it took from me to release this, because this song is older, this song is some years old.
Mm.
I started writing this song in 2019,
Mm.
in 2019. And 2019 was probably the first time she asked for a divorce,
Ah, okay. Okay.
and we worked through it, but I still wrote the song because I was feeling it.
Yeah.
But that one was on me. I took full responsibility for that one. I did some nonsense. Um, but I felt like me writing the song, and it took me a while to record it because I felt like there was this fear in me that made me feel like I believe in the power of words so much, right? But the Bible says life and death is in the power of the tongue,
Yeah.
you know. And and I believe in the power of words so much that I felt like if I sang this song, it would almost be like I'm prophesying that this would be the case.
Mm.
So
Put it
I
in.
refrained from wanting to put it out, because if I put it out, then it's like my reality,
It's gonna come
you
true.
know.
Yeah.
So when we did go through with the divorce and everything, and it was finalized, I wanted to put it out because in that moment, this is my story, and I want to say something now.
Mm.
And I felt like I'm always the guy that's pouring into everybody else. I'm always that guy. I'm
Mm.
always pouring into everyone else, and I very rarely feel like somebody's pouring back into me. Very, very rarely. I feel like I have to do that on my own,
Mm.
you know? I feel like I'm always the guy showing up for people. The efforts that I put out, I'm not getting that back, you know?
Mm.
So when I decided, hey, you need to get back to your first love, as much as I love songwriting and playing the background, like I'm a vocalist, like I do this. I could teach a lot of people, a thing or two
Mm.
about recording and not the technical side of things, but just as a recording artist,
Okay.
you know. And it's almost like you dim your light to make people feel a little more comfortable.
Mm.
And I wanted to start to do some of my own art. Not everything I write is for people to sing. Some of them is for me. It's my story. And
Okay.
I've witnessed as a songwriter far too many times that you have a vision, you give it to an artist, and then they add their vision onto your vision, and it turn into a whole different vision, and you lose the vision that you created the thing to be,
Yeah.
you know? And sometimes you just don't want to tell them, like, yo, your vision is stupid. You're changing up my thing. But you leave them alone, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
For the sake of being a songwriter, because part of being a songwriter is sometimes you just have to learn to let go of your babies,
Yeah.
and that. But I just came to a place where I was like, I need to do some things for me. You need to work on you. You're your own project, and you need to work on you.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember a colleague of mine, um, Damon actually, Damon, who's Kessa's manager, one of Kessa's
Ah,
manager.
okay.
And Damon said to me one time over the phone, D, you have to remember that you're a brand too.
Mm-hmm.
He said that. And that never left me.
Mm.
It always stayed with me. He's like, you have to remember that you are a brand too. And you have to remember that you are not supposed to dim your light.
True.
Don't dim your light to make anybody else shine, right? And because I'm a songwriter, it was hard for me to do because remember, I'm writing for everybody. I'm writing for so much people. And then I have an artist that I'm taking care of too. And I prioritize my artist. I'm always pushing her to the forefront and pushing her up the mountain, and
Yeah.
and I love it. I love being in that position to create what I think is going to be the next big thing. I love that.
Yeah.
But I also see where when you focus on everybody else so hard, where you now start to shrink in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to, because at the end of the day, we have no pension in this industry. There's no pension plans for us.
Unless you,
So at any given time, it could all end.
true.
At any given time, somebody could change their mind and decide, well, I've used you enough. I don't want to use you anymore. As a songwriter, as a manager, as anything.
Mm-hmm.
People are people and human beings change. The only thing that's constant is change, and people could change on you.
True.
So at the end of the day now, you have to, it's like you have this moment now where you're thinking, what is the point of all of this if you're not happy? Or what is the point of this if you're not doing what you want to do? So I have to now dig deep and decide, if I have to put out my own art, what do I want my sound and my art to be? And I could only want to talk about things that I'm dealing with and real moments in my life. So when I thought about what I want to say, and I went back into my folder of unreleased Darryl Gervais songs, Drifting Away was one of the top things there. And I was like, this is the perfect time in my life to release this, because it's real. And right now in my life, it has so much significance, because this is actually where I'm at. And it's the byproduct of what was, and I'm actually here now and I could talk about it. And I feel like a lot of men don't talk about it, you
Mm.
know. I've had conversations with men, big hardback men, where they're breaking down in tears. Everybody talking about what they're dealing with, and we don't have that space to talk. We very rarely do that.
Do you think
And no,
because of you, not to cut you off or anything, but do you think
no.
because of the culture, um, I don't want to speak for American people, but because of our culture being in the Caribbean and the way how we raise our men to be tough, do you think that's a part of it?
Yeah, well, I think we raise men to be a certain way throughout the world, not just
Yeah,
in Caribbean or American culture.
yeah,
It's only now the world has gotten a little more sensitive, and we could talk about mental health and,
yeah, from the pandemic.
emotions and things a little bit now. Um, but yeah, I think it's just expected. Men just have to figure it out. I think that's the expectation of men, that we figure it out. Like, nobody knows. There was this quote I saw sometime, like, everybody you meet is fighting a battle
Hmm.
that you know nothing about. So that's why you need to be kind to people. Because at any given point in time, any of us could break. We could have a breaking moment.
Yeah, of course.
Um, because nobody knows exactly what everybody is dealing with.
Yeah. They
You
also say
know,
people have their own crosses to bear, so you don't know
everybody,
what
yeah,
cross that
everybody.
somebody is carrying. Yeah.
Somebody could be the most beautiful person the most beautiful soul you've ever dealt with. And
Hmm.
then next week you see them beating somebody in the middle of the road.
Hmm.
And it could just simply be that they had their breaking
That was
moment
their
and
breaking
they couldn't
point.
take it anymore.
Yep.
They couldn't take it anymore.
Yep.
You know, sometimes when men come from work or going out or whatever, and they just sit in the car for a little moment,
Hmm.
you know, that is be all us resetting right there, because you don't know what kind of day we had, and sometimes we walk in the house and then is you arguing with us for nonsense.
I know.
like,
Men could
like,
be a
like,
little tricky sometimes. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like sometimes we need the silence,
Mm.
and I'm not saying our way is the right way all the time, but there's balance, and there's a lot of meeting on the half that I think needs to be had between men and women, because especially in today's culture, there's a lot of blame games.
Hmm.
And you see it on social media a lot. There are set of women just trashing men. And oh my God, the feminist movement, the toxic feminist movement. My God, it's I don't know now.
Those are hurt people,
Yeah, it's a lot of hurt
Darrow.
people. It's a
Yeah.
lot of hurt
Yeah.
people. It's a lot of hurt people.
It's
But
hurt
you see, when you
from
give
a
a lot
hurt
of hurt people
place.
platforms, it makes it worse, because then it's like the blind leading the blind,
True.
you know?
Yeah. They trying a thing, I should say.
Yeah, yeah, everybody is.
Yeah.
But there's so much of healing that needs to be had. And I think on all sides, like me personally.
Mm.
Yeah, I am I healed? I don't know. I don't think so. I think I still have some healing to do.
You do
I
because
think
now
yeah,
it's traumatic. It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
you said,
yeah,
it's traumatic going through a divorce. It's traumatic
yeah.
losing a
Hell yeah.
loved one. It's traumatic when somebody dies. So anything of the sort is going to, it's
hmm
gonna hurt.
you know what it is? You know what it is? Divorce for me is like this. It's like a death. It's like you're mourning the death of something,
Mm-hmm.
but the person isn't dead. The thing is dead.
Yeah.
The
The
divorce
love.
is the marriage is dead. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like you're mourning this death, but you still see the person or the person still existing there. But it's like it's that change, that new way of living now is it's hard. It's hard. I remember a colleague of mine, one of my good colleagues that I write for,
Mm.
and I remember he told me one of the hardest things is the waves of loneliness you're
Mm.
gonna have to deal with because he had to deal with it.
Yeah.
And I don't know when he shared that with me, it's almost like I was anticipating the waves of loneliness. And I ain't gonna lie to tell you, like when those waves of loneliness hit me, it'd be real, real hard. You
Mm.
know, like I'll be honest with you, like there's moments where you break down as a man, like and I'm just crying. I felt like the divorce broke me. You know, I felt like you broke something in me and with all the aftermath of the divorce, like all the fighting and the bickering, and now we in court and this and that. It's like
Yeah.
it broke me. It broke me to the point where there's moments where there's like this valve that is opened inside of me that I can't shut off sometimes, and you just find yourself in moments just crying,
Hmm.
and I don't cry like that. But it happens and I'm laughing about it now, but it's a real thing. And I think I'm speaking for a lot of men who not saying it. And I don't care. I don't care who watch me any type of way. Somebody could probably call my artist and be like, your manager, like he going through some. I don't care. I don't
Yeah.
care, But it's like, but yeah, but nah, it's a difficult thing to deal with. Some people rejoice in their divorce. Um,
Maybe
but
that's their mechanism in
yeah,
saying, listen,
it's
I
just,
don't care, you
yeah,
can do whatever you do. But behind the scenes, it's a different story, unless they
yeah.
really don't care,
Yeah, when you're in it for really, really wanting it to work, you
Mhm.
see it differently.
Yeah.
Everybody look at marriage a different way. For some people, marriage was completely transactional for them.
Yeah.
And if you're not grounded in any kind of higher power or anything like that, marriage it doesn't mean the same thing for you. You know.
True.
My examples of a marriage was my grandparents, and they were the first examples for me.
Hmm.
And they made it work, and they loved each other even on their dying bed, their deathbed. They were,
So that's why
still very much in love, you
so
know.
that's why I think they say your background makes a difference in how you feel and how you think, because
Yeah.
you're gonna say that it's failed because of what you've seen and what you know?
Yeah, I think it was easier for my ex-wife than it was for me
Hmm.
because nothing she grew up around was a successful marriage.
Oh,
Like
okay.
everybody in her family is like single or divorced.
Hmm.
None of the women have successful marriages in her. So maybe I don't want to curse a whole family, a whole
Yeah,
bloodline, but
yeah.
it's observations that you cannot take for granted.
When you're not used to
It's yeah,
something,
it's
not ready
culture,
for it. Yeah.
like yeah. So I made those observations long time. Like there's no I don't know anybody on her side of the family that's in a happy marriage, working things out, and there's a lot of single women, a lot of single men.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, a lot of it ain't easy. But on my side, I'm around a lot of working marriages, a lot of mentors, a lot of couples. And I remember at one point I used to say, I think you need to find some mentors, um, like some older, more mature mentors that
Yeah.
actually in successful relationships, you know.
Mhm. You were
Um,
telling her that, or you were saying that to
I I
yourself?
wa- I was telling her that, and I tell that to friends as well too. You know, you got
Mm,
to be careful who you're surrounding yourself with, and the people around you that feeding you.
mm.
You know, like I'm not gonna take advice from somebody who's never been in a good relationship.
True.
You can't talk to me about relationship if you never been in one. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Um.
They're not gonna feel
So
the same and know the things that you went
yeah,
through.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And what it takes in order to be in one or to keep one.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah. Um, how do you hope listeners relate to drifting away, especially those going through something similar?
I My hope and desire for drifting away when listeners hear it and receive it is that they can be honest with themselves. I hope it resonates and I hope they allow it to resonate
Mm-hmm.
and to ask themselves the difficult questions and just allow themselves to be real in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not asking for much, you know, like I'm not trying to depress people. But if it resonates with you, I want you to spend some time with it and let it resonate. Let it shake up the things and make you a little uncomfortable and open your eyes if it needs to open your eyes.
Yeah.
Because these are real things, you know. When I look at the lyrics for Drifting Away, those lyrics were real lyrics to me. Those are my thoughts, you know. Like the like when I said I can feel me drifting away from you. It doesn't feel the way it used to. We've been slipping away and trying to hold on to whatever's left of us. We've been trying to hold on to whatever's left of us, you know. And then I said, but why can't we be lost in love the way we used to be? Our signals crossed,
Hmm.
so crossed that now you're losing me. Those were real things for me, you know.
Jeez.
Those were real things for me. So that was real, and I want you to ask yourself the same question.
Mm.
Let it soak, let it marinate in your heart and your spirit. And you know, I gave her the song before it dropped, though.
Really? What did she say?
Yeah, we. Well, she knew of the song when I was
Yeah.
writing the song. I played it in the car one time when we were still together,
Yeah.
and I remember we were driving down the highway, and I played the first demo, and she was like, "That's how you feel."
Hmm.
And I was driving and she was in the passenger side and she was like, I was like, yeah, you know, sometimes, you know, but that was years ago. Now, fast forward to now, the song is about to be released. And we were in the hospital for a checkup for our younger son.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, we don't talk. We really don't talk. Like we, she communicates with me via her lawyer through emails. So we don't talk like that.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's really stupid and bad right now. You know, it's really irrational. But so we met up in the hospital for an appointment for a younger son, and I turned to her. Now I don't know if she's going to talk and respond or anything like that. And I was like, I'm about to release a song.
Yeah.
She's like, okay. I was like, do you remember Drifting? She was like, yeah. I was like, I'm gonna release it. And she was like, okay. I was like, do you want me to send it to you?
Mm.
And she was like, yeah, I don't mind. And I told her put on her airdrop and I sent her everything. The
Mhm.
write up, the release, the bio, everything.
Yeah.
And she put on her headphones and she was listening. We never spoke about it after, but I could tell she was soaking it in. I could see that concentration on her face, you know. But we never spoke about it after that. My kids love the song though.
Oh, they
They love emotional records. So they really, really love the song. I just wanted to make sure my family heard
heard
it.
your,
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
yeah, I wanted to make sure that they heard it before I put it out.
How, I mean, this is if you want to answer this question. I just wanted to see what
I'm
they're
answering
understanding.
everything, Nikki.
How old are they? I just want to see how their concept of understanding, how did they take this is like a fiery question all in one. Like, how did
Yeah,
they take everything going on? Did they understand your words? Like, How did they take it? Did they cry? What would
You mean like from
their
the
feedback?
divorce, from everything?
Yeah, like listening to your song and then knowing about
Yeah.
the divorce and all that stuff.
Well,
Are they
well, for the
old enough to
divorce,
understand?
well, for the divorce,
Mm.
when we decided that we had to break it to them, because she was the one pushing to for us to have the conversation, and I was the one. I was nervous as hell, but I guess for her, she wanted to get it over and done with,
Yeah.
and for us to sit and talk to the kids.
Okay.
And I remember when we sat and talked to them, like it was more me with the kids, and she was like on the next side of the room, face serious, looking mean, and me and the kids are in full tears in a hug
Wow.
up, we hugged up and just crying, and she's just there sitting on the next side of the living room,
Hmm.
and I was like, "Yo, why does it feel like you have the emotional intelligence of a rock? Why does it feel like that? Like she has no emotion. I mean, I'm not saying she doesn't. She
Yeah,
does.
it's just a thought.
Yeah,
It's like what you were
yeah,
feeling then. Yeah.
she does. But yeah. Fast forward to now, I think my kids aren't stupid. Like they see and they understand what's going on.
Hmm.
Um, and they're in the middle of it, and I hate that they're in the middle of things, because we're not getting along at all.
Oh,
Um, So they're in the middle of things. The eldest is 13 and the younger one, well, he just turned 9 last Wednesday.
yeah. Okay.
Um, but I talk to my boys. Like my boys know how I feel and they know all the things that I did wrong. Like I sat down with them and shared things with them,
Okay.
because I think it's important to be honest. I don't want to have to wait till they're grown up and then they find out things and then. So like I want to share stuff with them. Um, But they love the song and they know the song was from a real place, you
Oh,
know. But my kids miss us together.
of
Like they
course.
they they miss us together.
Mm.
But but you know, I think they'll be okay. Kids are resilient, if not, anything else. They're
As long
resilient.
I would say as long as I mean I don't know them or anything, but from experience, I would say as long as you have an open communication with them and you speak to them,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah.
they should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're boys too, so you don't know how much they're keeping in because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean just to shed some light on some things, right?
Mm-hmm.
My kid's dad passed away, but
Um,
when the dad passed away, my son didn't tell me how he was feeling. He told me like a year after how he felt. And it hurt
oh
me.
wow.
Yeah, it hurt
Mm-hmm.
me because he said it's like boys listen to men more. Well, on his side, I don't know what your kids might probably
Right,
say,
right.
but it's like they listen to the male figures more than the female. And he was close with his dad, you know?
Mm-hmm.
When he came out and told me that, I was just shocked the amount of things that he kept in, and he's not a big talker. That's the next thing.
My eldest is only talker. My youngest is very sensitive and he'll talk and share
Yeah.
stuff and he'll share his thoughts. The older one, not so much.
Wouldn't, yeah.
Yeah.
So I just let him talk, and the more he talked, there's so many things that I found out, and I didn't realize how he just opened up the light to let me know this is how a man really, a young individual thinks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a tough moment for me. It was a real eye opener, you know.
Mm. I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah. So we're gonna take a quick break. I want you guys to listen to the song. It's a very nice song. Darryl, tell them where they can find the song, where they need to go.
Well, Drifting Away it's on all streaming platforms. It's available everywhere. But I really want Drifting Away is a mood, right, guys? It's a mood. You can't just throw it on after you just do your workout and your soca playlist and all of that. It has its own space. It's a ballad,
Hmm.
very cinematic, soulful, and pure in emotion. And you really have to be in a certain mind frame to just let it soak and resonate with you.
All right.
So this is
So
Drifting Away.
So I usually ask my artists to do an acapella. Do you mind doing an acapella, or do you prefer that they, even if you want
Nah, I
to
could
pop
do
it?
something.
All right.
I
Okay.
could do something. Hmm. I'm a little cool, but I should be fine.
Okay.
So it starts. She said, "Don't leave. Now's not time for walking out. Maybe we can talk it out. This can't be the end. Lately, it feels like I can't take no more. What's the point in holding on for? And I know it's a lot. I know we got problems, yeah. But I can't help but think where we'd be without them. You see, I can't see that the love is gone, but lately we don't love no more. So we gotta do what we gotta, yeah. See, maybe we're just going through a phase, yeah. Or maybe all we really need is space, yeah. It kind of feels like we're in different places. And I hate how I've been feeling. I can feel me drifting away from you. It don't feel the way it used to. We've been slipping away, trying to hold on to whatever's left of us. And why can't we be lost in love, the way we used to be? Our signals crossed, so crossed, and now you're losing me. I'm drifting drifting away from you. And I know you feel it too. Yeah.
You guys go copy it, go stream it, download it. Playing Drifting Away right now. We'll be right back. Table Talk Show with Nikki G and
Yes, sir.
It's not easy, babe, 'cause we've been going round and round in circles, and I don't wanna hurt you no more, baby. We had a hell of a ride, yeah, you and we tried. See, maybe we're just going through a phase, baby. Or maybe all we really need is space, yeah. It kind of feels like we're in different places. And I hate how I've been feeling. I can feel me drifting away, drifting.
all right, guys. I had to get my tissue out and dry my
Yeah.
my tears and all that stuff. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song. So,
Thank you.
very, very good. Yeah. When I saw you put it out on Instagram and say, should you write about this? I'm like, yes, because that's I forgot how I put it on Instagram, but emotions and everything that you feel brings out the best in creativity.
Yeah. A lot of beautiful art comes from pain. A lot of beautiful art
Yeah, yeah,
comes from pain. Yeah.
it does. Do you see songwriting as a form of healing or self-therapy?
Yeah, 1,000%. There's things that like I have to say in my songs that I'll never get to say it in a regular conversation. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and especially in more soulful led songs like Drifting Away and a lot of other projects that I have,
Mm-hmm.
Um, my songs are how I feel seen and heard. It's how I'm able to express myself. And I don't curse and things like that. So you wouldn't hear me cussing in songs.
Yeah,
Um, but but my emotions and how I feel like I want to be able to express those things. Like I battled with putting Drifting Away out.
yeah.
I battled with even letting people know I was divorced.
Hmm.
Because divorce for me, for a little while in my heart, I felt like a failure. I didn't want to be part of that statistic,
Yeah,
that failed marriage statistic, because in my opinion, we didn't need to fail. like this could have worked,
If you
like
wanted it to work out, yeah.
yeah, it could have worked out. Like there was no reason, there was no need for it to fail. It's really up to the willingness of the parties involved,
True.
and but that's my take. I don't know what her experience may not have been my experience,
Mm-hmm.
but I felt like in putting drifting away out, it was me exposing, a lot of myself and a lot of my heart and opening up yourself you know, for conversations and opinions of people. So, but I felt like I needed to say it. I needed to put it out because it was real to me and nobody's gonna silence me. I have to be real. I have to say what I feel and I have to say, what's on my mind and say it in the most respectful way.
Yeah.
But drifting away from me was me being extremely vulnerable.
Mm.
This ain't easy. Basically telling the whole world,
Your life story.
yeah, my story, but
Yeah.
I think it works and I'm seeing that it's working because I'm getting the messages and too much messages for it not to be working. It's doing something,
Yeah.
you know.
But as you say, okay, you're putting out your story and stuff like that, right? And most people would say because you're going through this it is a life lesson. So
Yeah.
let's say hypothetical, you get into at some point in time, if it happens, you get into another relationship. Do you think you're going to be learning from this? I mean, it's going to be somebody totally different that you're going to be dating and but do you think a lot of what you're going through now you would take into your other relationship in the sense that you might probably do things differently?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah, I strongly believe so.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't want to make the same mistakes I made in the past. And it's not that I'm looking for a next relationship either,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I'm not opposed to it, I'm very open to it.
Mm.
Like I said earlier in the conversation, like nothing's wrong with marriage, something's wrong with people.
People, yeah.
So I'll never talk anybody out of a marriage, But yeah, everything that I learned now, yeah, if the right person comes along that I have to get in a relationship or I want to get in a relationship with them,
Mm.
there's some things that I will not repeat. There's some things that I will learn, and I think it'll be to the benefit of,
The person.
who's in my future, Yeah,
Do
a
you
thousand
think
percent.
do you think you would be a better listener or a better communicator?
Both. I
Okay.
think I'd be a better both.
Mm.
Um, what was a real eye opener for me?
Mm.
The love languages. And I knew about love languages for years,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like on the late half in therapy and whatnot, I realized what was my ex-wife's love language.
What was that?
It was words of affirmation. And
Mm.
I remember when she told me that, it hit me like a revelation. And I'm like, oh, how could I have not seen that? How could I have not seen that throughout the years?
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm not singing your praises, you're not feeling loved, and
Oh. Hmm.
well, not in that simplest way, but
Yeah.
it's like she needs to be told. She needs to be told and needs to be heard and understood.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't believe I missed it. You know, I couldn't believe that. But I realized a lot of women, their love language is words of affirmation.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but but I see that.
Well, that's why I was asking you, what was some of her complaints or what was some of
Yeah,
her expectations? Because that's why I also ask you, would you be a good listener
yeah.
or a
We argued a lot. I
communicator
know that
because
for
of
sure was one of
yeah.
her complaints. We started fighting a lot, girl. Like,
Hmm.
and to be honest, like in hindsight now is like, I can't remember what we were talking for.
About
Yeah,
sometimes it is be such it is be so to us it'll seem
it
like
means
so
everything in the
minute.
moment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you know. But I don't know. When you look back, you're like, I don't know.
yeah. Was it even worth it? You know, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah. Was it even like for those simple things, you know? What does success look like for you at this point in your life?
for me, success is simple. You know, I think I heard this quote from Pharrell one time, and he said, "If you could pay your bills and feed yourself and clothe yourself
Yeah.
doing what you do, you're successful."
Oh,
And I believe that 1,000%. And
yeah.
that's what I do, right? My kids eat, I eat, my family eats, my bills are paid. I could book a trip if I want to book a trip. I could buy clothes if I want to buy my clothes. I'm not rich. I want to be rich, but I'm already successful. I have the accolades to prove it. I have hit records. I've affected lives. My presence, my ideas, my opinions, my taste has
Mm,
affected lives. That's how I measure my impact in this world. You
mm.
know, I look at what ideas that stemmed in my heart and my head. I did it wrong. My heart and my head. I did my heart and my head. I did that. So in my heart and my head, ideas that stem from there
Yeah.
have affected people's lives, and in a major way too. Some people had added to their catalog that already had hits and made them even bigger, and in some cases it made people take them a little more serious. But nonetheless, it's generated, even if it was just income, it generated money, it generated a change in their lifestyle. So my music has affected lives, and I feel like I I feel like it like success for me
Mm,
is me being able to do all of those things, and when I look back on that, I feel fulfilled. I feel like I accomplished something. I
mm.
feel like I feel like my purpose was met, like I saw that what that was,
Yeah.
and I just want to be able to continue to walk and operate in my gift. And I think the money would come. I think the millions would come at some point.
Yeah.
I'm not going around looking and begging for that. But I think anywhere where I genuinely put my best foot forward, the rewards follow. The
Good.
rewards came,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. And that reward might be monetary gain, and it might put me in a room that could ultimately change the trajectory of my life. And that's happened many times.
I was just about to say that it's
Yeah.
happened because when you speak
Hmm.
about, when you go through your EPK and just knowing about you, hearing about you in the news and artists talking about
Hmm.
it, it has happened. But I think sometimes, as you said, someone said, don't dim your shine. I think as Caribbean people, and I'm just saying as Caribbean people because, I'm not American by birth,
Hmm.
we tend to not dim our shine, but kind of like dumb it down in a way, to say,
Yeah.
well, I doing this, but yeah, I'm like a small
I
fry or something, but you've done so much.
yeah, I realize, and I had to say it a few times to some people in the last 2 weeks.
Mm.
I do a horrible job at promoting my wins.
Uh,
I do a horrible job at it. Like I will have songs and TV shows and movies and stuff like that, and I don't even make a post about it.
which you do, yes.
You know,
Yeah.
like I'm responsible for songs being in movies, and like I don't promote it. People will do whole articles in the papers about it, and I ain't even doing that. And it's like
So,
it's almost like I'm sleeping on myself too.
so here's your chance. I would like you to tell my audience or listeners, just give
Yeah.
them some of your accolades, let them know some of the things that you're responsible for, some of the songs that you've written
Yeah.
and anything
Well,
you'd like them to
in
know.
in soca music, I have a very extensive catalog. I have a big catalog of hit music and soca music. There's a lot of records that I would have written for Kes the band, like written and co-written. Boss Lady, Jolene, Radar, Love It was just featured in the Tyler Perry film
Yes.
Medea's Destination Wedding, and I was the person who got it in the movie. Because I do a lot of stuff in TV and film as well too. I have a lot of good connects in the TV and film industry. Um, so for Patrice, I did things like Tender, um, that thing they it good. I know you're a fan, I did that. I did Touch Me Like You Need It, Mean It, Mean
Wow.
It. So all of and I have a story behind Touch Me Like You Need It. I have a story behind that too, and that all stemmed from, a real situation.
Oh, really?
Um, yeah, everything from Ray. I've written for Dev, Shal, Lyrical. I've written for a lot of soca artists.
Well,
Um,
Kes is the man.
yeah, Kess is top tier. Kess is top tier.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and we've had a great chemistry working together. Um, as far as outside of soca music, like I've done a lot of stuff that's been featured in a lot of TV shows that we would know. I have songs featured in Old Dads on Netflix, a movie on Netflix. I have stuff in Tyler Perry's Medea's Destination Wedding. I have music in Tyler Perry's Sisters on BET. I've had music featured with my own vocals, with me singing them in um Home and Away. That's a UK drama series. Um uh those VHS reality TV shows, like a lot of reality TV shows, Love and Marriage, Love Island,
Mhm.
um yeah, love and hip hop and all of those things. I've had countless songs
But
featured in a lot of those stuff. ESPN, you
wow.
know. Yeah,
But I would say that's what make you you because of who you are, you know?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's congratulations on all your winnings.
Thank you, thank you,
Congratulations on everything. I that's very admirable, I would say, you know.
thank you. I appreciate that.
So yeah. Okay, so I didn't get to ask you now. It's so many questions. So many
Ask
questions.
away, fire away, fire
Yeah.
away.
All right. All right. So we're going to his childhood. I want to get to the nitty-gritty of how, and why and when and so forth when it comes to the music industry. All right. So
Okay.
when you were a child, what was your childhood relationship with music like growing up in Trinidad and Tobago?
Oh wow. So so my childhood relationship with music was like this. I was the I was the child that was paying closer attention to songs more than everybody else. I was paying close attention to how they sang a note and when the note felt like pain and when it felt like happiness. And I was paying attention to how the words painted a picture and I
Mm.
could see myself in whatever situation they were talking about. So I observed the power of music at a very young age, and it's only as I got older I understood more and more of what the power of music is, and I used to idolize people like Michael Jackson and stuff like that, run in the sand in my auntie yard. Her yard was more like sand. And
Yeah.
I would run and drag my foot in the sand like how Michael Jackson used
The
to run and do
moonwalk
it
and
in
all that.
the way you make me feel.
Yeah.
Oh, he would
Yeah.
run and drag his foot like his instep. He used to run
Yeah.
and drag his instep.
Oh
And I
yeah.
would be doing all of that. I would be drawing him and all of that. But music for me from a very young age, it spoke to me.
Mm.
And even though back then I didn't decide since I was that age that I was going to do music,
Okay.
but I know it would be an important factor in my life. You know,
Mm.
music for me from a young age was always a part of expression for me. Music helped me be good in English in school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, understanding people's songs may help me to be better at English, like rap music in particular, helped me to be able to tell my stories better,
Hmm.
you know, and to the point where I started writing my essays almost like if I was rapping my essays,
Ah.
you know. So I always observed music in a real like under microscope kind of way. Um, music, it I learned how to properly ad lib and do harmonies like that as well too.
Hmm.
Especially as I got older and I got into gospel. Ain't had nothing in the world that better than church vocalists.
Oh,
I
yeah,
could tell
they
you
could
that. Like
sing. Oh, yeah.
I could tell you there's a girl right now. She's in the gospel as well too, but
Mm.
she is like a stage manager for Band. Her name is Kizzy Peter Shah.
Okay.
And Kizzy is one of the baddest female vocalists you would meet in Trinidad, right? Powerful vocals. And you wouldn't think that when you see her just walking around
That she
helping
has that.
Band. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But she is insane, and her husband is an insane vocalist too.
Mm.
Like I could call randomly 10 vocalists that I know from church that could that could sing circles around your favorite soca artist. You know what I mean?
Of course, because I don't think soca
Yeah.
artists like really sing.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
like Kes is one of the best of us
He's,
in soca
yeah,
artists,
he can sing. Yeah.
Kes is a good
Kestra could
representation
sing.
of our vocalist. Destra
Yeah.
could sing.
Yeah.
Patrice could sing,
She could
but
too.
Destra and Kes are like top tier
Mhm.
and Terry Lyons.
Oh,
Terry's a beast,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they could sing. But yeah, I think Fayan could sing too, you know.
She could sing too.
But
Jadelle could sing as well. I've seen her do some vocals on her Instagram.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's very few of soca artists that could sing, you
True.
know. Um, but yeah, but I feel like music really played from childhood. It played like a very, very hands-on role in my life. And I didn't start to do vocal training until I was like almost an adult, when I started working for my own money and all of that. But yeah.
Oh, really? So, how did your time at the Chris Vocal and Music Academy International, was that a part of?
Yeah, that was more me as an adult.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was more like 19, 20, years old.
Mm.
Um, but Chris Balbosa, beautiful soul, she's like an auntie to me. It's one of my mentors. She's always somebody who will always have a very close space in my heart.
Yeah.
Um, I learned a lot from being around her and her ministry, her school, her choir. I sang in her choir for years. I
Mm.
was a tenor in her choir. I've been a soloist in her choir. Um, that community is a really, really tight-knit family,
Mm.
and they believe in ministry and outreach and spreading the gospel through song and the arts. Um, but I learned how to properly harmonize through Chris Vocal Academy,
Mm.
um, and ad-libbing and stuff like that. So all of those things helped me to be a better songwriter and a better vocalist today.
Okay.
And when I started managing Ray, Chris was Ray's vocal coach for a little while too. You
Okay.
know, yeah. So they used to do it remotely, virtually. I mean, yeah. So yeah, the Chris's vocal academy played a very important role in my life as a musician, as a vocalist.
Mm.
I will never take that away from them.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. You're described as one of TNT's most sought after songwriters, which is really true. What's your personal approach to writing a hit song?
Now, this, a hit song to me is a funny thing, right? Because that's really perspective.
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
sometimes it has nothing to do with the song that makes it a hit. Sometimes it's the who's singing it,
Mm.
But I would always say set out to write the best song you could write. Make sure certain elements are there. Make sure that there's truth in it. Make
Yeah.
sure that there is an amazing melody. Make sure that there is um catchy sections of the song. Make sure the song moves you, and make sure. I would also say that this is not to say it's the last factor of it, because it's a very important factor of it too. It's great production, right? You need great production.
Difference.
Like
Definitely.
we songwriters and producers go hand in hand.
Mhm.
We need producers, we need the artists. It's an ecosystem.
Yeah.
But I think all of those things go hand in hand. But of course, it's very difficult to say if a song is going to be a hit, because sometimes in our culture it depends on who's singing it. Because I could give Jadel a song, and Patrice could sing the same song, and it may be a bigger song because Patrice sang it rather than Jadel.
True.
Or I could write my heart out for a record for Ray, but if I gave it to Patrice, it might be a bigger record because the brand is bigger, you
Yeah.
know. But I think in every time you set out to write a song, just write the best that you could possibly write. And you just never know. Sometimes the right person might hear it and play it or pass it on to somebody else,
True.
because you have to be consistent in this industry,
Also,
and
there was
that's the main thing I try to do as a manager with Ray.
yeah.
You know, we have to create a consistent catalog of
Mhm.
quality songs, and Ray's position. I'm very proud of the position that we're in right now. We've been consistent. Nobody could say we have nonsense songs in our catalog. We
Yeah.
have great songs in our catalog.
True.
The what needs to happen now is her brand just needs to, you
Market.
know, to build a little more. So we're working on those things. But
Yeah.
Ray has a great catalog, and we've had opportunities. Ray is one of the few upcoming acts, the next set of soca artists that actually, doing well, and touring, and doing things like that. She's been on platforms season that this hasn't even been on yet.
Yeah, because she was on the news. She was on
Yeah,
what do you call it? The circus.
yeah, yeah,
I saw that. And then a few others that I was like,
yeah,
this is good.
yeah. She's
Yeah.
opened for
Good for
guests a few
branding.
times.
Yeah.
you know Thousands of people in the audience. So she's done that, where there's seasoned artists who never touch a guest stage, before in their life. So she's done some things. Her music has taken her to a lot of different countries. So yeah,
And
I think
awards.
I'm really proud. Yeah, awards. She's an award. Yeah,
Yeah.
listen, my artist is an award-winning artist.
You
You
see?
know, we could talk some things.
Yes. A lot of awards that she's on is well, you can name some of
Yeah,
right now it's
yeah,
Caribbean Music Awards.
yeah. And she's won an award in the UK. I
Mhm.
can't remember the title, but it was like best female soca act, or best soca act,
Yeah.
something like that in the UK, for the Caribbean Afro Music Awards. So she has an award from them. So yeah, Ray's an award winning artist.
Yeah. So give them,
Uh,
well, let them go search for themselves. So where would you
yeah.
find Ray's music and also
Um
social media
yeah,
platforms?
you could find Ray on social media, on all social media platforms at it's Ray.official. You could check out on TikTok, and that's Ray with a E. RAE.
Don't get it
It's
confused.
RAE dot official. And
Yeah.
her name is just Ray. It's not It's Ray, but her name is Ray.
Ray.
Her social media handles is It's Ray dot official, but her name is Ray.
Ray. Exactly.
Yeah. Don't get her confused with anybody else, please. Do the homework. Stop being lazy.
I'll do that.
Yeah, stop
Um,
being lazy.
mhm. How do you tailor your writing across different genres from soca, TV, and film scenes?
Oh wow, that's a really good question. For me, like I said, from a young age, I kind of been studying music, right? And I've always had a very wide palette, of musical taste.
Mhm.
And I've observed that every genre has certain characteristics. So I make it my business to understand those characteristics, and the stories that they tell, the melodies, the way that they sit in the pocket of the beat and the flow. Um, so when I have an assignment where now I have to write R&B or write pop or write house music or Afrobeat,
Mhm.
I kind of just go back into my mind as to what each genre has. And sometimes if I need a little help, I might go listen to some music in that genre. And then I'm right back into the zone to write it.
Mhm.
There was one time I was doing a writing session in Warner Chapel in Warner Chapel in Manhattan, right?
Okay.
And I'm in the session and it was just after a really great soca season. I think it was 2019 soca season. And that year I had things like Radar and all of that.
Oh, nice.
Um, so that year now, and we had just finished. We had already made like Boss Lady and all. I was just waiting for 2020 Carnival to release it. But I went to Manhattan to do some writing sessions, and I'm in the session, but it's a pop session. But it's like a soca jump in my head. All I hear is soca in my head. Every time I open my mouth by the mic, Nikki,
It's
there's
so
only soca melodies, soca melodides. I had to walk out in the waiting area in the lobby
uh
and just had to play some Taylor Swift and some Justin Bieber in my ears and detox myself from some soca and then go back in the put and I was like, all right guys, I'm ready.
uh,
No more soca swag. Now it's pop and R&B now. No, let's go.
uh.
But you have to be intentional when you get into the other genres because what I've seen from a lot of West Indians is growing up, I've been around enough songwriters and producers.
Mhm.
They were very talented in the Caribbean, were
Very.
very talented, very extremely talented.
Mhm.
But sometimes when they try to do other genres, it sounds like a West Indian trying to do another genre. It
Yeah.
doesn't sound quite like it. And I wanted to be the person that when I do that, it sounds like what it's supposed to sound like. So I studied a little harder and I
Okay.
make sure that when I do pop, it sounds like pop. When I do country, it sounds like country. I did a whole Latin pop album already for a record label in LA.
Hey, but
Yeah, and I don't speak Spanish.
how
I
do you do that? How do you, my thing is, how do you do that? Okay, writing is one thing, right?
yeah.
But the singing as so is writing you did, not the singing aspect of it, or singing as
Now
well.
some of them I sang the songs. Some of them I sang it.
So how do you do that? I don't know if you could sing one of them or something like that, but it's like trying to change your accent because we have a strong accent. Some people have
Yeah.
strong accents that they can't even go into another genre. So how do you become that? Like,
I think I just grew up. No, I was doing pop and R&B long before was doing
right.
soca.
So you have, yeah, you could switch.
So I grew up on pop and R&B
Hmm.
and hip hop. So I remember the first time I met my mentor, Corey Rooney.
Hmm.
He 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 was blown away because when I'm talking, you hear me talking, and there's a West Indian man you hear, and here is a Caribbean
That's
man.
what I'm saying.
I had to be repeating a lot of things I said to them because they wasn't understanding what I was saying.
Yeah.
The accent was trippy.
Yeah.
And but then when I'm playing records for them, when I'm playing my demos, he was like, "Who's singing?" I was like, "That's me." He's like, "Get the F out of here. Who's singing?" And I was like, "That's me." He's
Yeah.
like, "What the actual?" and cussing. It's like he's like that is not you. I was like, no, that's me.
Yeah.
He's like, bro, you have an X factor. He's like, because you talk and I don't understand a word you're saying.
Uh-huh.
But then you sing and I'm hearing Usher or Neo. What the hell is that?
I told you. That's what I
You
got
know?
when you sing the song. But we do Caribbean, not to cut you off or anything, but Caribbean people, if you're versatile in how your accent is and it's not too strong, or you find some people who do have the strong accents, but you could sing on a hip hop song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think because I grew up on it like that.
Yeah.
And this was my first time traveling. So I was never the guy that was going to switch my accent for
Okay.
anybody else, you know?
Okay.
Um, yeah, so when I was around them, like I knew my accent would make me stand out in the room.
Mm.
And people and like when I got to LA now, it's like everybody just loved hearing me talk. Like women would love hearing you talk. Like, could you just say something for me? And I'm like, come on, like behave, like what's your scene, and little things like that, just the slang. They just
Yeah.
love the slang. But
Yeah.
then when
Yeah.
I'm singing now, it's like when I'm singing, I song like them,
Mm.
depending on the genre. And
Yeah.
then I found ways now to kind of mix the Caribbean twang in some of the pop, and they love that too.
Mm.
And that's why they ended up liking people like Rihanna and them like that too, because it's like Rihanna found a way to make them fall in love with her Bajan accent
Yeah.
and
Even Chris is
in
doing
in
it.
her
Chris is
even
saying
who?
some Chris Brown. I heard
Yeah.
him
Yeah, yeah,
saying
yeah,
like some
yeah.
Jamaican stuff in between and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But back
I
to
remember the
touch.
first time.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
Oh
Go
no,
ahead.
no,
Go
no.
ahead.
Go ahead. I'll remember because it keep popping up in
No,
my
I
head.
was gonna say
Yeah.
I remember the first time I played some soca records for Rock Nation.
Uh-huh.
And they were amazed at what soca is sounding like now. And I always remember the songs I played for them. I played Love It from Kes. I
Mhm.
played Personal from Five Star Keel on the Osaka rhythm. Don't
Yeah.
take it personal.
I love
Just
that
a
song
one
when he
night job.
brought that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I played a couple records that I wrote, and they were really impressed by what soca is sounding like now. And that showed me that their eyes are on the Caribbean, like the world is looking at the Caribbean. The world looks at the Caribbean for swag or taste. They could take little things from it. But yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man. What we have here is gold.
Mm-hmm.
We just need to find a way to come together and market it for the world. And stop trying to be one man trying to market it to the world. We need to do it to the world.
So you just brought up two questions. My first question that I was gonna ask you is you had mentioned touch me like you need it has a backstory. I want to know what that backstory is. And then the second thing is
Well,
the second thing is I want to know the thing is we have so many producers, engineers, so many people in the soca industry, and we still can't make it as famous as how Afrobeat is right now. But they said Afrobeat
yeah,
came up because of I mean it was always there, but the pandemic they just sought a way and they just it rise to the top, you know?
yeah.
What remedy do we need since people they sample it in a lot of songs, right? But why can't we get soca on the map as how we want it to be? But I want you to answer my first question first.
Your first question was what? Do you touch me?
Yes. Because you mentioned it and it keep popping up in my head. I'm like,
Oh,
ain't gonna fly by that. So if you want
so
to,
so so touch me. So I was married at the time. And Patrice Roberts, her team had sent me. There's a guy on her team named Warren. Warren had sent me a beat from her. Was that same Toko Loco rhythm?
yeah.
And he was like, she real into Afrobeats these days, and she's a fan of Yemi Alade. And I was like, oh, I listen to Yemi Alade. Like at that time, I'm heavy in Afrobeats. I'm writing a lot of Afrobeat records.
Yeah.
And he was like, she wants a song I don't have an idea for you. Just do a hit, give her a hit record.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's hard to just give you a hit record. I need some direction.
Yeah.
But they didn't have any direction for me. They just sent the beat and they needed a song.
Yeah.
And that night, so like I said, I'm working from home, right? So I'm anticipating my ex-wife to come home,
Yeah.
because I'm a man and I want my little love up something too,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she come home and, shower and I trying to, initiate something. And she give me this real unwilling vibes
Mm.
and kill my energy one time.
Oh.
And but before she killed it,
Uh-huh.
I tried a little thing, but I could have done tell she wasn't trying, she wasn't into it.
Yeah.
She was gonna hit me one of them outer obligation thing, and I ain't want no obligation jam. I don't want it. If you gave me the thing, I want to, do it like you mean it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember once I sensed the unwillingness and that I'm already turned off. So I was like, you know what? I'm good. I'm okay.
Oh.
And I leave and it's already late. And the kids, the kids, um, the kids done take over my room. So I say, well, I done upset, so I don't even want to sleep in the same room.
Yeah.
I good. I was like, let me go. I go and sleep in the kids' room.
Yeah.
And at that point now, I'm sleepy, but I still have the song, and I want to send them an idea the next day.
Yeah.
So I'm laying down, and all of a sudden it hits me. I I prefer if you're doing anything, yeah, I'll do it like you mean it,
Ah.
Telling myself that in my head now.
Yeah.
And I sleep here, Nikki, and I've just put on the phone to record. I put the voice recorder on the phone on,
Yeah.
and I started whispering while I'm falling asleep. Started whispering because I'm upset with her. And I feeling my ego hurt too,
Yeah.
I feeling neglected and I feeling, like what is that, Like
Yeah.
we didn't do anything for a couple days, well, So I'm laying there and I've fallen asleep. I'm already dozing off and the phone is by my mouth on the bed.
Mm.
And I just started whispering into the phone because I tell myself if I don't record anything, I'm not going to remember it in the morning. And while I'm falling asleep, upset and hurt feelings, I'm
Mm.
whispering into the phone, touch me like you mean it. Mean it. You
Wow.
say it to me like you need it. Because I want when you're involved with me, like you do it like you want to,
Purpose. On
Yeah,
purpose. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So that's where it came from. But then when I woke up the next morning, now I'm like, you can't sing no depressing soca song for Patrice, that. So now I had to turn it into like a love song.
Ah.
So,
Right.
but the chorus was inspired out of me getting neglected.
Ah.
Salt, salt, nothing for you, Darryl. This chorus was inspired off of that. Just
Yeah.
me not getting the
Wow.
the energy that I wanted to be reciprocated.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the story behind Touch Me.
Well, they say everything happened for a reason. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She inspired enough songs.
wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, let's take a quick break. I still have my game to play.
Let's go.
We're gonna be winding down, but
Yeah.
all right. So let's just take a quick break. We'll play the song for you guys so you can get familiar because Darryl has extensive catalog. You might
hmm
see a couple of videos and stuff like that. And I promise you at the end of the show, you could go through some more of his music and catalogs. All right. And get,
Definitely.
yeah. All right. So
Yeah.
keep it locked to Table Talk Show with Nikki G, The Voice, and Darryl. And we would be right back. Okay.
Yes, sir.
It's okay to want something. It's okay to have a certain passion towards something, a willingness, a distance that you're willing to go. But if it involves someone else other than yourself, it's important for you guys to be on the same page, to be like-minded. Because if you're not, ultimately it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a lot of conflict, right? a lot of bumping heads. And at some point, you're going to be forced to make a decision whether this is right for you, whether you're going to continue to expel so much energy and time into something. And this applies to whether it's a business relationship, a personal, romantic, whatever it is. But ultimately, you're going to have to make a decision, whether it's for the bigger picture or for your own personal peace. So, what does the bigger picture look like to you?
Welcome back to Table Talk Show. I hope you guys enjoyed the music that Darryl produced. And Darryl, do you have anything to tell our viewers?
Nothing in particular. Nothing in particular more than what we're talking about.
Bashful as he is, oh my God, you won't believe that this guy's a writer. Like, very modest, very, very modest. Okay, so we have a game that we play, and game time. Okay, so this I'm gonna ask you some questions and then answer it as truthful as possible. The second one is just a word game. So when I give you a word, you just say what comes to mind, right? So this one, you're definitely gonna explain. It doesn't have to be a whole lengthy explanation, but it's basically, you can say one word answers in a way. All right. Okay. If heaven had a gate, what would you like God to tell you? You're not dead or anything. You're just walking up to the gate and you're asking him a question. Or even if you wanted him to, or if you wanted him to give you some insight for the future or so. However, I don't want to guide it, but what would you want him to do?
I think I just want him to let me know if I'm doing a good job or not. That's all I need to know. Am I doing a good job or am I not doing a good job? Like if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. That's what I would want to know. I'd want to know if I'm in the right direction.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
What advice would you give your younger self?
What advice I'd give my younger self? Let some things go. Yeah, let some things go.
Okay. What is success to you?
Once I could take care of the people that I love and feed and clothe them and myself and pay my bills, that's success to me.
Okay.
Doing what I love. Once I could do it with those things, I'm successful.
That's nice. Okay. What sound turns you on as a creative or writer? You could take it however you want. You could answer it however you want.
What sound?
Yep.
Or song?
Sound. Like some people like the sound of the beach. Some people said they like a new beat. Some people say they like the sound of a woman's voice. So take it however you want, answer it however you want.
I ain't gonna lie, like if it comes down to nature, I love the sound of rain, but it doesn't inspire me to be creative.
Okay.
What inspires me to be creative? This facts. I think women are a great source of inspiration. I think I get inspired from conversations, I get inspired from all kind of different things, but a lot of it there might be a female source in the background of it, you know. Sometimes the sound of her voice, you know, sometimes intimate moments, remembering intimate moments, sometimes observing how a woman's body moves, just how she walks, how she dances. You know, I think, you know, like a muse is basically a woman, a muse, you know. and it's that for a reason, you know?
True.
Because women, yeah, it's that for a reason. Like a muse isn't anything else. A muse is a female source of inspiration. And I understand why, because like women are influential in so many ways, and sometimes you're not even trying to be influential.
It just happens.
You
But
know, it just happens because a real creative would look at a woman and just like I wrote this song for Tea and Winter a couple of years ago. We ain't put out this song yet, but it's called Poetry in Motion.
yeah.
And Poetry in Motion was me remembering the way how a woman body moves, you know, poetry in motion, it's like, look, look at her go, like, jeez. But yeah,
Uh,
I think women in general, or a woman in general, is just a great source of inspiration for me. So it doesn't have to be a song. It's just visually, sonically, yeah.
the
So
being
much could
of
come
that
from that.
person.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. All right. So the words now. When you hear these words or a word, let me know what comes to mind. Not
This
too
feels
much
like
thinking.
therapy.
As soon
It
as it
feels like therapy. Go ahead, go ahead.
right. Songwriter,
Lyrics,
freedom,
soca,
family,
love,
heartache,
divorce,
Trinidad,
home,
success,
providing,
Darryl.
him,
Him.
him. Yeah, I am him.
Nice, nice, nice. Very good. And that's it for my game.
Oh my God, how did I do?
You did good. It's no good or bad or anything.
Okay,
It's just pure honesty, and that's why I do it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you did great. You did great.
good, good, good.
Hmm. What's it like managing an international soca artist like Ray? But you answered that before, so you could summarize it since you said it already. Is a two-part. How do you balance the creative and business sides?
Well, managing an artist is no easy task because I don't think people understand when you ask somebody to manage you, what does that mean, right?
Mm.
When you ask somebody to manage you, it's kind of like you're asking somebody to prioritize you above everything else,
Hmm.
right? It's like I need to provide for you. I need to prioritize you in a way where I'm even playing second fiddle to you, right? You're asking me to put my needs above yours, to put your needs
My
above mine,
needs above, right?
right? I love managing because one of one of the most important things you could do as a creative, as a songwriter or producer, is to to break an artist, to bust an artist, right? It's one
Mm.
of the most amazing things you could do. It's like a highlight of your success, right? Because in a sense, it's like mentoring, right?
Mhm.
What are we doing if we're not trying to mentor and hold the door open for anybody else?
True.
Right? And
Besides keeping
it's
it a
not to say
business
that
alone.
I have this highly successful career. But I know some things and I could do some things that could affect your life and put you in positions to win. And I think that's 1,000% what was done with Ray, what's being done with Ray,
Mhm.
Um, now Ray and I are a team, so I'm not gonna say it's solely me, we work well together. She's the talent, I'm the manager,
Yeah.
but I'm also the talent too because I'm writing the songs. I'm creating so much part of it, so
Yeah.
much of it.
Yeah.
I'm writing the songs. I am creating some kind of vision for it, but then we come together and we execute the vision. She has input, I have input, and we push forward this thing.
Mhm.
Um, it's not easy because you're dealing with people at the end of the day. So of course, we're not always our better roses. We clash a lot, personality wise.
Yeah.
Um, uh, yeah. So, but it's fun. I love. It's almost the same feeling I get when I write a song and the song goes out there and does good. When she's doing good, I
Mhm.
feel fulfilled. I feel like um not to put it like this, but she in a sense she's kind of like she's a project too, right? But she's more than a project. She's a project from a business perspective. She's a project and an investment. But she's also my friend.
And
And she's also my friend who I care about deeply and I want to see her win and be successful.
yeah.
So we have a very unique relationship. And anybody who's been around us could tell that we have a very close, unique relationship.
Yeah.
If I don't care about you, I can't manage you. I can't. I don't know how to do it because the minute you show me any kind of stupid attitude, I'll lock you off
That's it.
one time. Yeah. Because I don't need you for anything.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I genuinely don't. I don't need any artist for anything. Like I'm good regardless.
Yeah.
So
You
me
have other
managing
things going on.
exactly.
Yeah.
So me managing you, me managing an artist is more for the artist. It's not really for me,
Yeah.
you know? Um, because because financially there's so much going in yet before you could even see any kind of profit that could change your life, right?
Mhm.
But but so as a manager, it's a very you kind of have to really know that you want to do this to get into it.
Mm.
And I think a lot of managers they only jump in when it's already successful so they could just get some bookings,
I've
you know.
I've
A
been
lot of
told, yeah.
a lot of managers are just glorified booking agents. They're not going out and finding opportunities and doing artist development. Like I've been doing all of that.
Mm.
I've been doing all of that. We've been molding and shaping this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes indirectly and directly, been doing all of this.
Mm.
So, but how, one part of your question was how does it affect the creative side, right?
Yeah.
Um, so it does affect the creative side. I'm not gonna sit here and lie about that. When I'm in full management mode, the creative side suffers
Mm.
because I'm so hard in the management mode. I'm trying to get confirmation on this. I'm trying to find her opportunities, bookings, following up on this one. It's almost like it's like you're glorified I don't want to say administrative assistant, but it's like I'm
Executive assistant, I think they call it when it's higher.
yeah, I am literally everything.
Hmm.
I am everything,
Yeah.
right? I am the songwriter. I am the A&R finding the songs. I am finding the musicians. I
Yeah.
am I am the investor. I am the manager. I am the counselor. I am the friend. I am the bodyguard. I
That's
am the
a
videographer.
lot. Let me.
I am I am the videographer. I
Mm.
am I am creating content. I am giving advice and all of that. I am the punching bag in some moments. When you have nobody to blame, you blame me because I'm the easiest person to blame. I am the photographer, a lot of the photos, a
Yeah.
lot of the content on the page is me filming it, shooting it,
Wow.
I do a lot I do. But yeah, and I kind of oversee everything, but at the end of the day, we're partners and we're in this together. I don't really have a team like that. We have people that are really close to us and we consider them part of the team. But at the end of the day, the team is really Darryl and Ray. It's really us. You know, um, but yeah, but we have DJs we work with, amazing DJs we work with. We have makeup and hairdressers that we work with, where there's photographers that we work with. But at the end of the day, when any of them can't make it, it's really just
It's
it's
still.
Darryl and Ray.
Now that you're saying it, and I'm sure, and I'm glad that you're opening up and saying it the way it is,
Yeah.
because people don't see it for that. When
No, no, no.
you
They
know when
don't see it at all.
Yeah, they don't see
For
the
the
back
most part,
end
all
of it.
people see is Ray.
Yeah.
To some people, I don't even exist,
Yeah.
because all they see is her. That's
Yeah.
all they see. And
But
and and it's the same thing as a songwriter. For a
yeah,
lot of people, we don't exist as songwriters. They think Kes write everything he
yep.
sing. They think Patrice write everything she sings. We don't exist
Yeah.
unless we say, hey, niggas, we exist. I did this. Unless I come out and say I did this, nobody's really
Yeah.
going to say that, hey, Darryl Gervais, he did that, or blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, because
You
the
know?
first time I can't remember when did I think it was with Ray
Hmm.
or something, and then somebody pointed is like, he's the one that writes for Kess and this. I was like, what? I was
Yeah,
surprised. And then, I heard the catalog and all that type of stuff. But now that you're explaining it, now I see why. I'll just say it short. I gotta know because you do so much.
yeah,
You do
yeah. I do
so
a
much,
lot.
and I never really see it, not just you, but any manager or
Yeah,
anybody. Like now, as you explained it, I've had people say, you have to be out there, you have to be creative, you have to show people that
yeah.
you've done stuff for yourself before
Hmm.
they want to take you on because they don't want the headache of now trying to
Hmm.
bring you up to where they want you to be before they could even
Yeah.
manage you or something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so people don't know the behind the scenes, but I'm glad what they're doing now with producers, where producers are taking it another step and they're showing people this is what I'm doing, this is me behind the scenes, this is the artist that
Yeah.
I support,
I need to do a better
stage of
job
it.
at documenting those things and showing people. But
Hmm.
yeah, you're right.
Wow.
But it is a lot. I wear a lot of hats.
Yeah,
Um, Sometimes it could be a bit overwhelming because
I'm
as
sure.
much as I do for people, I still have a bunch of stuff that I'm doing that is just solely for me.
Yes, so
Like I do advertising, I create jingles and all of that too. So yeah, it's all of those things happening.
for real, where do you find the time? It's
I
like
just get it done.
24 hours. Yeah, yeah.
I just get it done. It's had people waiting for songs from me for the last 2 months and I ain't sent it yet. I try any best that I could possibly try. You know what it is too?
Mhm.
When you're dealing when you're dealing with certain challenges that life throws at you, and then a lot of your clientele is soca, it's hard to write happy songs when you're battling for your life. But
True.
I've done it. I've done it in my darkest moments. I've written some amazing soca songs.
Mm.
You know, um, yeah, but you kind of you have to be intentional. You have to fight for yourself the way you fight for people, and you have
Yeah,
to find ways to dig yourself out of the holes and the pits and the mud that you're in.
yeah.
You have to find a way to show up for yourself and show up and say, hey, listen, not today. Get behind me, Satan. Like we ain't going through that. We ain't going through that. You ain't taking me today. Nah,
Yeah.
I'll fight. Yeah, I'll fight. Yeah, I'll fight. Yeah, I'll fight. Glove up, chin up, chest out, and we pelting blows. I ain't taking it. So, so you have to kind of coach yourself out of your own dark moments.
Mhm.
Um, I remember when I wrote Fat Woman and Alcohol. So I remember Problem Child called me sometime I was in New Jersey. And he was like, Gervais, I need some help on some projects. 'Cause, Problem Child executive produces a lot of rhythms and stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I was like, boy, I'm dealing with some things, but I need a sparring partner these days. So the fact that Problem called me,
yeah.
I felt a little encouraged to write, but I didn't
Mhm.
write in months. In months I didn't write. And when I came off the phone with him, I guess just in my mind knowing who called me,
Mhm.
it woke something up in me and I
Spark
was
it.
like, it
Yeah.
sparked something. I was like, but if a big writer calling a big writer, it's because they expect greatness from a big writer. So be a big writer and go and write some greatness. And I had to talk myself out of it. And I in this stupid Airbnb in Jersey, and I probably write like 5 songs in 5 days.
Uh-huh.
And I had to go to New York, and I was staying by Ray's mom in New York.
Uh-huh.
And And I remember one night, Friction called me and he was like, Gervais, I need a song from you. I was like, you need a song from me? I was like, who you thinking? And he's like, no, I need something from you.
Wow.
And he sent me the rhythm and I was praying and praying with tears in my eyes.
Oh, wow.
And I wrote over and over a soca song that I did last year. Was it last year?
Mm.
On the Robert Dub project from Friction.
Uh,
Um so and then right after that I wrote Fat Woman and Alcohol for Terran, and that was a big song for him. That helped him a lot in soca music too.
yeah.
But yeah, so it's like even in my darkest moments I was able to write some songs that, you know, affected the lives of the artists that I write for.
Mm.
But yeah, you really just have to be intentional, Nikki, and despite what you're dealing with, you find a way to come out of it and show up for yourself,
Yeah.
you know?
There was something that we were speaking about earlier, and I think we were talking about therapy, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're saying now is in relation to that. Sometimes you are your own therapist in the
Yeah.
sense that you find a way to make it happen, and many others. Is there a project or artist that you felt especially meaningful to you? Not to, you know, I know sometimes it's hard for you to say one artist or so forth.
Favorites, yeah.
Yeah, but if there's
Um,
anything that stand out to you that was really meaningful.
yeah, I think so for me, I could think of three different artists that was really meaningful to me to work with, right? And the projects. Kessa's for one, for Kessa's up there for sure.
Yeah.
When Kessa and I working together, it always feels magical in a sense because we kind of cut from the same cloth in terms of creativity, right? Like he came up listening to everything else too, just like me,
You
you
did.
know. So he has R&B, pop, rock, all of that in him, reggae. Kes understands the different genres,
He does.
and when he comes together to do it for himself now, that's why his song is so unique and, you know, versatile. So I've had those moments with him. I've definitely had it with my own artist, with Ray,
Yeah.
where I feel like there's moments where I felt like the heavens open up and like, yeah, boy, this was ordained. Like we supposed to be doing this thing, you know. Especially in moments to know when I see the reaction of how she engaged with an audience and how they react into the songs.
Yeah.
Like I feel those there's those proud moments, you know. I felt it with Patrice as well too when I hear a whole crowd singing out Tender, you know.
It's so like
Yeah, yeah, it's
yeah.
amazing. You know,
Mhm.
it's a
Very
beautiful song and an artist I worked with too that raised my paws when I hear her sing the song.
cool.
Terry Lyons. I wrote a song for her called Can't Steal My Joy. Die
Mm.
when lie, them can't take my
I
joy.
know that. Yeah. Beautiful song.
From
Beautiful.
it. That's why I
Yeah.
still winning, still shining.
And she
Yeah,
sings with a passion, like
yeah.
Harry.
When I sent that song for Private Ryan,
Mm.
that's a Private Ryan project. When I
Uh,
sent it for him, he was like, "Yeah, this is for Terry, bro."
mm.
Right? And when we went to the studio, we recorded it in St. James by Kingston.
Yeah.
And Terry came in, and this was us meeting for the first time. And she was like, "You're the writer?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "What's your name?" I said, "Shivi." She
Okay.
said, "You know my business, or?" I said, "Well, why is it that?" She was like, "Because I feel like you stand up and peep through my window and write this song."
Really?
I was like, "Nah." I said, "I don't know none of your business." She was
Okay.
like, "Boy, you write this song for me. You
Wow.
write this song for me. This is my business. This is my heart you write it. I don't know how you write this song for me, but you write this for me." You know, and I was like, girl, I just wanted to write something to encourage somebody, you know, who going through or dealing with something. And she was like, nah, Shiva, this is my song.
And she, mm-hmm.
Yeah, Terry embodies what that song is about.
Yep.
And like, she sings it like a Baptist woman singing,
Yep.
you know?
Yep. Yep.
She
She
sing it
is
like a
so
full spiritual mother.
She is so passionate because she never hides what she goes through, you know?
Yeah. hmm
So that it really embodied her and everything that she's going through, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
even went through. Um, what advice would you give Caribbean creatives trying to get into sync licensing and global music markets? Because it seems like artists always have a issue. I shouldn't say an issue, but they don't know either how to do these things, marketing, anything global, licensing, and so forth.
I think one of the things I would always tell them is you have to network, right? You can't do this thing without networking.
Mm.
So even if you're not a big people person, you have to learn how to deal with people and you have to learn how to socialize. Especially socializing with a purpose.
Mm,
That's networking, right? It cannot be completely transactional, because people could tell when you just want something from them. So you have to learn how to add value, right? And I'm big on that. Add value. If you're in any room, make sure you're adding value. If you're on any team, make sure you're adding value. And make sure your value that you're adding is not value that could easily be replaced.
mm,
So that's my main thing that I would tell them. And make sure that you're on the top of your game because we have egos as human beings, right? So we would always think the things we're doing is the best things in the world. That's
mm,
why every year you see our artists complaining that somebody blacklisting them and no one playing my music because you in your own brain think that you're the best thing since sliced bread.
mm-hmm.
And sometimes you need harsh reality checks to know that you're not all of that, bro. You're not that bad. You're not that bad. Relax, come down from there, you
Yeah,
know? But you have to be you have to be on the top of your A game, always on your A game, but objective in a certain regard too, because put yourself around people who will give you honest feedback, But you have to be able to stand in a certain position where you know your art is good, but you could also measure your art against other things to know that, okay, it's just as good as what's out there. So you had to do some sort of quality control.
okay.
But you see networking and quality control, make sure you have good things. Your talent, you must be able to back it up with your talent, but you have to be able to do the business. So that's the next thing. I would also tell them to learn the business, learn the law of the business,
Mm,
right? Because we could tend to make things very complicated as Caribbean people.
true.
We overcomplicate things. And I think some of us are really greedy because we never had money. So we always fighting for crumbs, like, you know. But we also have this mentality, this gimme, link me kind of mentality.
Yeah,
And the corporate music industry internationally, they don't operate like that. People could tell when you want to use them. People could tell when you only want something from them.
yeah.
So you have to be careful how you approach people. But yeah, that's what I would tell them. Do your research. There's different ways to find out who are the key people to talk to when it comes to music
Mm.
supervision and them kind of things. We like to switch off the TV as soon as the credits start to roll. Read the credits and you'll see
So
who's the
you will
music
see who's
supervisor.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Read the credits, see who is who, write down the names, create a list. I have a list, and then go and Google them, find out everything you could possibly find out, and eventually you might come into some kind of way that you could reach out and contact them.
Yeah. One thing I
That,
realize people don't like doing is spending their money if they need
hmm
to get things done or, you know, it's
I
like
see that in soca a lot.
that's why I'm saying it's like
Yeah.
that happens and we always on this barter system where I give to you, you give to me. I'm not gonna spend any money. This is how we're gonna do it. And then it does
hmm What
nothing.
happens in soca a lot with a lot of artists, all
Mm,
of them, every single one of them, right? A lot of them, they get used to getting things for free.
yep,
And they start to not put a value on it, and they only know the value of things when it's time for them to spend the money.
yep, yep,
And it's a really nasty habit. It's a really nasty habit.
yeah.
And but we're all to blame for it. I'm to blame for some of it too. Sometimes you do things for them, and sometimes you do things for people that don't deserve for it to be done, and now they don't have a value for it. So now they don't even respect when you're doing it because now they feel like they obligate, like it's an obligation, like you're supposed to do that.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
entitled to that.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So they don't even understand. Like you give an artist two, three free songs, they don't want to pay for a song again in their life. Because now they get so
They
accustomed
get
to not having
used to
to
it.
spend money on it
Yeah. Yeah.
that now, so it's a lot of things like that. There's a lot of bad habits that we need to break people out of in our soca community.
Yeah.
You know,
True. So, so true.
you gotta be careful who you do be kind to, because that kindness they'll take that as a weakness and dig out here. I'm telling you,
Wow.
it's easy.
Wow. What's next for Darryl? Any new projects, collabos, dreams you're chasing right now?
Yeah, there's a lot of things I have in my. I think there's a lot of desires that are rooted in my heart, and I think those things are put there for a reason, and I want to see it through.
Mm.
There's things that I'll continue doing. I'm gonna continue writing for myself, writing for artists. I'll continue working with Ray, that's my artist. I'll continue working with her, continue molding and shaping that brand to a position where it will be undeniable. Um, there's a lot of projects that I want to do for myself personally as a vocalist, not necessarily in soca, but I might touch a little soca too. But
Mm.
I'll touch it in the way that I want to do it. You ain't gonna see me on a stage like Magic Mike and whining down the place. You're not gonna see that. You know, we ain't Magic Mike over here. But if I do something, it'll be in my own way.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of dreams that I'm chasing that I want to make a reality. I have a lot of amazing people in my corner, so I know it'll get done.
Mm.
Big up to Ray, big up to Boss Lady. I'm a people's idol. I'm a dogs. Um, yeah, so a lot of things gonna get done. I have some amazing brothers and I would say counselors in my corner. Prayer
I like that.
warriors.
I like
Yeah,
that. I
yeah,
like
yeah.
when you started talking about, life and your marriage and everything, and you say,
Mhm.
besides your grandparents, that you have people behind you who guide you through,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
which is it's good. It's good to have people like that in your corner.
1,000%. I
Yeah,
think it's needed. You can't be taking advice from single people all the time.
true.
Everybody has their own perspective and the way they navigate things.
Mhm.
But I think I'm not gonna take advice from anybody I don't respect. And I'm not gonna take advice for, they say, show me a tree and show me a fruit. Show me a fruit and I'll show you what kind of tree you are.
Yep. Or show me
Right?
your friends and I'll show you what
Yeah,
type of person,
yeah.
something like
But
that.
but but you know a tree by the fruit that the tree bears, right?
True.
So when it comes to advice and
Mm,
opinions and counseling,
yeah.
I am looking at your fruit. If
Mm,
if you have no fruit, if you haven't been in the places that I want to go, I'm
yeah.
not taking your advice. If you haven't done anything remotely close to what I'm doing or what I'm attempting to do, I'm not taking your advice. You
Yeah.
know, if 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 I cannot see the fruit of your labor, I'm not taking the advice.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that applies across the board. It doesn't apply across the board because sometimes out of the mouth of babes, you would hear wisdom,
Exactly.
right?
Yep.
Out of the mouth of the most unsuspecting person, you could hear a piece of wisdom that could alter the course of your life. So
Yeah.
that doesn't apply across the board, but there's certain things you have to be in it or I have to see some kind of fruit from you to even take your opinion to heart.
Especially
Yeah,
in business, I think,
yeah,
when it
yeah,
comes
yeah,
to
yeah.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Especially when it comes to business.
Like
Um,
I like for instance, I love my mother to death, but my mother can't give me music business advice. You
Well,
know?
that's different. She might
You know?
probably warn you and tell you something like my dad always used to tell me. I mean, this is just a Trini thing. Is like, you know, take care of yourself first, or your friends will
Yeah, yeah,
warn
yeah,
you
yeah,
and never
yeah.
bring you back. You know, those generic type stuff that they might
Mm-hmm,
warn
hmm.
you about or something like that, you know.
Facts, yeah.
Mhm. If you could collaborate with anyone in the world, who would it be and why?
As a songwriter, I would love to sit down and write a song with Tyrone Thomas.
Mm.
He is an artist from the VI. He's a songwriter, creative. He's
Mm.
a powerhouse in Caribbean creatives. Um, he's a Grammy Award-winning songwriter. He's part of our city.
Ah, okay.
But he's an amazing songwriter,
Mm.
and I respect him greatly. So I would love to write a song with him.
Yeah.
I- As an artist, I would love to work with somebody like a Rihanna. Um, and even outside of like an artist, I would love to work with a producer like a David Guetta, um, Babyface. I would love to sit and work on a song with Babyface.
He is my niece. My niece
Yeah.
do production with him and she danced for him and stuff like that. So I
Okay,
think
that's
good,
really,
a
really
good
good.
person. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's like one of the OG songwriters and
Yeah.
producers.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
an
yeah.
amazing
Oh yeah.
songwriter and producer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody in soca that I would really, really want to work with. I feel like I've covered so much in soca, you know. I would love to work with Marshall. I've never had the opportunity to work with him.
Really? I don't know
Yeah,
why
I'd love to work
you
with him at
both
some point.
already. Okay.
Um, yeah, because I think he's so important to the culture.
Very.
Um, that yeah, it'll be something really nice. I'm sure we could do something amazing together.
Yeah.
Um, because I feel like I've done everything else. I've worked with Nadia, I've worked with Destra, I've worked with Patrice, Allison, you know, I'm building my own with Ray. You
Yeah.
know, I've worked with Kess, and Kess is monumental right now in soca, you know.
Yeah. But
Um,
that's the cream of the crop. You basically
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
cream of
yeah.
the crop.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why we just never connected. It just never happened, you know. We just never had the opportunity.
Okay.
And I don't force anything, you know. If it has to happen, it will happen,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I don't really go out pitching myself to artists or something anymore. If an
Okay.
artist wants to work with me, they'll come, you know. Because I feel like I don't have anything to prove anymore to anybody. So I'm not going around begging artists to work with me, you know. None of my songs are ever wasted.
Yeah.
You know, they always find a home, always.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Very good. Confidence is key. And you know what
Always.
you're
Yeah,
about. You know what you're about. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
I think it was on the Man with No Door album that I saw his name, but that might probably be distribution more than writing.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because, but I think that album was distributed with Ineffable Records. That's
Yes,
the label Kes
it
is with.
was. Yeah.
So I don't know if it had anything to do with Marshall. I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, because he
Yeah,
showed me the name, but I'll show you when I find it because we
yeah.
will.
I think I have 3 records on the album. I did Jolene, obviously. Yes, Please, and I did It's Enough on the
Yeah.
album.
All right. So we've come to the end of I have a plethora of questions, but we could be here all day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can
I,
always do a part 2 some other time.
I think we just did a part two. We might have to do a part three
Oh gosh.
because I think this is going to be a one and a two.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it might be a one.
Nah, but that's good, man. I enjoyed it. I
Yeah,
really enjoyed the conversation.
that's good. That's good. And I feel very relaxed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good, good.
I'm glad that you enjoyed the show. So,
Anytime.
um, any parting words that you would like to, that you would like anyone to know? I know we went through so many questions, but anything that you would like my audience to know?
Support the creatives. Support the creatives who contribute to your drive to work when you're listening your music. Support the creatives who write from a real place. Support the creatives who put out music to affect your life, and it doesn't take much to support them. It doesn't take much to support us. Sometimes it's a like in a post, it's a share in a post, it's downloading a song, it's streaming the music. That's one of the things that holds us back. We're not a culture that streams,
Mm.
and we need to stream because the numbers need to go up. We need to stream and buy the actual songs. That's important. So support your creatives. It's not going to cost you an arm and a leg to support us. So support us. We need it. That's my parting words.
Good. All right. So, Darryl, would you like to do another a cappella for us? Because you only did one. Any song,
Nah.
anything, any verse, anything.
I can't think of anything besides drifting away right now. I have
I
so much, but drifting
know.
away is the only thing.
I
So we
know.
already got a little piece of
I
drifting.
know. Oh my God. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. So I want to thank
Thank you.
so much
Mm-hmm.
for being on Table Talk Show. Like I
No problem at
appreciate
all.
taking the time to do this.
Yeah.
Have you back. I had so many questions again, but I was like, no, I have to leave this for another
Yeah.
part. Maybe when
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
you put out something else and be like, you know what, I'm over this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, and I'll just like be like, come on my show again and
Things will come. Things will come. Yeah.
you know.
Things will come. We need to get Ray on here at some point
Oh
again. So,
yes,
so
yes.
yeah.
I had that. I was thinking about that. And then when you made the post, I was like, no, he has to come on by himself. And then I'm going to invite
Mm-hmm.
Ray because I see so many things going on. So I do have, well, I wanted to invite her and I said I was going to reach out to you. But when you did that, I was like, no, he's going to come by himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything in God's perfect timing.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So everyone,
All
thank you
right.
for tuning in to Table Talk Show with Nikki G, the voice.
Mm-hmm.
We would go on Darryl's page and Darryl, give them your handle again.
My Instagram handles is at Gervais Music. That's at GervaisMusic.
Awesome. Keep it locked to Table Talk Show. We need you, the voice. And thank you. All right. Have a good day,
Thank you.
everyone. See you later.
Bye. Take care.
So I woke up today and immediately went into a mind frame of reflection, right? Looking at where I came from, where I am now, and where I'd like to see myself in the future. Not everything is in my control, but I have seen God's favor in my life in a mighty, mighty way, and I'm grateful for it. 40 ain't no little number. I ain't feeling 40 though, but 40 is a big deal, it's a milestone. But I'm grateful for life, I'm grateful to God for allowing me to experience the things that I've experienced, to learn the things that I've had to learn, to meet the people that I've gotten the opportunity to experience. Not everything always works out as you would intend it, or as you would desire it to be, but you learn to roll with the punches. But I'm thankful that I have breath in my lung and strength in my bones. I'm grateful to have been born in a place like Trinidad and Tobago. That's what I said. My heart filled with gratitude. I give thanks today. This is 40. I now start. There are real things to do still. But I love and appreciate all you guys that send greetings. I love and appreciate everyone that's been rooting for me. Everyone that's ever supported me in any shape, way, or form.
That was truly inspiring. Darryl Gervais is not only a gifted songwriter, producer, but also a man who has lived, learned, and poured his story into his music. His single, Drifting Away, is a testament to resilience, love, and growth. A big thank you to Darryl for sharing his journey with us, and thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this conversation, make sure to share, subscribe, and keep up with Darryl's music. You'll definitely be hearing more from him. Until next time, keep chasing purpose and passion.
It feels like I can't take no more. What's the point in holding on for? And I know it's a lot, I know we got problems, yeah.
Bust this.
Welcome to Table Talk with Nikki G the Voice,
where we bring to you highlights of entrepreneurs, leaders, organizers, and much more.
Cross the finish line. I'll be coming back for you.
A broad spectrum of professionals, including chefs, artists, designers, musicians, and much more. Our show is a new brand of talk shows where we educate, bring transparency, and last but not least,
fun. Table Talk.
Get ready for our seasons, a roller coaster of emotions, all wrapped into one.
Caribbean style.
We'll cover our Caribbean roots as well, so keep it locked.
Welcome to Table Talk.
Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and iTunes.